There's a lot of tomfoolery in this movie.
Yes.
There's some silliness.
Mm-hmm. When you don't stay true to the character, to me, that's just being lazy.
Yeah. The Titans definitely. I definitely picked them over freaking Justice League. Yeah. You know, fucking Superman and those clowns. You know what's funny is like, I'm bullshit. Yo, there's people that get like hot, dude. Like, you don't say that about the Justice League. Like, bro, chill. As my 8-year-old says, chill down.
Right.
Chill down.
No more Madam Webs and Venoms and Morbiuses and crap like that.
I absolutely love that scene. It's one of my favorite kind of villain intros in any comic book movie. Dude. That's definitely up there at the top.
And the thing about it is that it was you understood what was going on, and it was quick.
Right.
It wasn't the whole Superman Krypton thing, whole Alley, Guns, Martha, all that kind of crap. Like 5 minutes and it's done.
Yeah.
We got our Catwoman.
Batman Returns is better than Iron Man 3. All right. Welcome to Only Comics. I'm Mike. This is Adrian.
What up, man?
What's up, bro?
Turkey, boy.
You still in that turkey hangover?
I'm still digesting.
Damn.
Dude.
Now, do you do like just the turkey and that's it, or you do any sandwiches, soups, and shit the next few days?
Nah, dude, I eject all that shit. I give it away. You know, family members, they come over for the day after, and they just ravage the rest of it. Gotcha. Nothing goes to waste. Yeah. And but I just can't do the leftover stuff anymore after so many years, dude.
Right.
It's just I've had it pretty much any kind of way you can have it.
Yep. I think I'm getting there because normally we'd eat like the same exact meal for lunch the next day, right? Then now it's like I did the turkey, we did sandwiches one day, soup, and then that was it.
Right.
I didn't want no soup left. I want nothing. I gave the shit away. So it was like just enough. But yeah, dude, I feel you, man, on the turkey hangover. Yeah. Dude. Tis the season though.
Tis the season.
It's feeling jolly out there, Adrian.
Yep. Many Christmas movies.
Oh my God, dude. We're gonna talk about one today. We got dude. Little Adrian got so fucking excited over there. He toppled over. We said Christmas. Right. Damn, dude, you do love Christmas.
Right. He literally fell on the Batman blade.
Yeah, you know what? We're gonna lay him down. I think he's had a rough rough week or so.
You know that the gut kind of like pulls him forward a little bit.
That also the turkey made him like front heavy.
That's it.
It happens. Dude.
It happens
to the best of us, dude. I've seen a lot of crazy stuff online past few days. One thing I see a lot of, dude, like people go viral for the craziest shit, right? Like we had the Hawk Tua girl, that shit earlier in the year.
Yeah, dude, I still don't get that.
Like
whatever.
She's like top pile. Oh my God, what does she has to say? You know what I see like so much of now are fucking sneaker reveals. What? Like I'm gonna do one here. Watch, I'm gonna show you how stupid it is. This is what I see on my TikTok though. I scroll through the feed and someone ordered a pair of Jordans. I like Jordans.
Sure.
They get the box, right? They open it up. Now Jordans are like they've been released like a dozen times. The same damn sneaker. Open it up nice and slow. They take out the plastic and they show you the same fucking sneaker that has been released like 12 times.
Right.
Then they put it back in the box and put it away, and people are like thousands of views. Crazy, dude. What's that have to do with this? Nothing. But I'm going to show you how a sneaker reveal should be done, Adrian, okay? So bear with me. I didn't tell you I was going this crazy today.
No.
So it's just simple, dude. Look, watch. There you go. Sneaker reveal. There it is. I don't need to show you the left one because it looks just like the right one. It's just the opposite side.
There you go.
There it is. I put it back on my shoe, and then I shut the fuck up. Well, I don't because we got to finish the show.
Right. Well, I mean, but your sneaker reveal probably not going to be as exciting as everybody else because you're missing the box, man.
I am missing the box.
You're missing the box and the paper and the crinkling. What's that? Where you like get used to like the sound of things or whatever.
ASMR.
That. Whatever that bullshit is.
Yeah, we don't have that.
Yeah. So you're missing that part. So you're probably not going to be.
So you're saying my sneaker reveal's not as good as theirs?
No, I'm saying it may not be.
It may not
because
be.
you're missing some elements that I think are crucial.
That's true. I think they're missing some elements though, because I'm actually wearing the sneaker.
There's that.
And
you're wearing the Fetching Only Comics gear.
Fetching, dude. Yep. Adrian. Dude, we're gonna get like a bell tracker throughout to see how many bells we each get. But dude, it is pretty fetching. But you talking about Christmas movies, dude? Batman Returns. We're gonna talk a lot about this today. Yep. This is a movie that I think when I originally asked you this question, I think you were on the fence about it being a Christmas movie. So we're gonna get into the review later, but without any of my influence, after watching it again recently.
It's definitely a Christmas.
It is.
Christmas
Okay,
movie.
so I wasn't wrong. Look at that, dude. So I get one. But we're going to hop into some news and rumors like we always do. There's a lot of Kraven stuff. So Kraven drops in about a week or so, right? There was an article about the director was discussing how in other movies they take liberties with characters, meaning they have this story origin from the comics and they change shit, right? Sometimes it improves the story. A lot of times I would say it doesn't, right? I mean, if you had to weigh, like obviously we're not keeping track, but do you think more often it hurts the story when they change crucial elements?
Yes, absolutely.
I mean, we've seen stuff with we've seen it with a lot of MCU villains. We've seen it with Ghost. We've seen it with Taskmaster. God, what they did to MODOK and fucking Ant-Man. Holy shit, that was, I'm not taking liberties. But the director, J.C. Chander of Kraven the Hunter, said he talks about how they're not going to take as many liberties with this, or they haven't. And they're trying to stay, or not trying, it's done. They stayed true to Kraven's origin story in the comics, which is cool. One of the other things that they said was they're basing their North Star is the last hunt. So have you ever read that story?
I have not read the story, but I know about the story.
It. Yep. It's Kraven, and I've not read it either. I've seen kind of the synopsis. I am going to go back and read it. It sounds really good. But basically, Kraven's tired of failing to kill Spiderman, right? And then he thinks he finally kills him, buries him alive. He then becomes Spider-Man, and he's literally like beating the shit out of criminals and stuff. Long story. Spider-Man comes back, but the key to this being the North Star is the fact that it's Kraven versus Spider-Man. So what he said was they made this movie with that in mind as the North Star, and basically said, in not so many words, but he said that if y'all come out to watch this movie, it may lead to Spider-Man and Kraven. Like, we need some support in a way, kind of tease that. So hearing that, dude, I mean, I was intrigued by this movie probably from the get-go. I mean, I think when we talked early in this year, I think you were kind of in the same boat. Like, have you always been a fan of Kraven?
I have been, but I mean, not a big fan. But he's not on my bottom 5 list. I can tell you that.
Oh shit. No, he's definitely not on my bottom 5 list either. But I like hearing that Kraven's, the last hunt is the North Star. So this is his exact words. So the character that we created, if everyone comes out and supports this film and we get to telling the story, that is where we are heading towards the last hunt. When people get a chance to see the whole film, I think they'll see that we are very serious about what we are trying to do. So this is a rated R kind of standalone film. From what we know so far, it doesn't tie to any of the previous Sony atrocities that they call movies, like Madam Web, Venom, Morbius, things of that nature, Adrian. So hearing this, dude, you're already, kind of like, you're into seeing this movie. Does this make you more excited about it?
Yeah, I am, because it's like you get some things are nuanced, like webs coming out of people's wrists,
that's one thing to call it,
So and then you get to the obscene, like a Black Cloud as Galactus.
Yes.
So I staying true to the character. Now there's enough range. When you don't stay true to the character, to me that's just being lazy.
Yeah.
Right? Because and that means that you're kind of like want to be a one-hit wonder. You want to get this thing out, you want to change it to however you envision it, and then you go away.
Right.
Because what you're going to produce is so shitty that nobody will ever let you make another thing, right? If you stick to the script, you have so much content you can expand upon and make that character better and better and better over time. Yeah. And I think Marvel has done a lot of that over the years.
Yeah. I would say they've done more of that than they have, taking liberties and screwing things up. But it has happened, and it almost feels, and I think you've said this in the past, like it's the directors, the writers trying to make a name for themselves with these properties, and these are not like your regular movies. Like, yes, they are at the point status-wise as good as they are. Like you said, you don't view them as comic book movies anymore, but they're based on comic book stories.
Right.
So you have, Batman's been around for 85 years. So you got 80-plus years for most of these, for DC Marvel to pull from. Why do we need to go and make drastic changes?
Right.
You know, it's almost like they want to shock you. They believe, they being Hollywood, that they know what we want to see.
Right.
They don't fucking know. We know what we want to see.
That's right.
Like, we saw the first 8 minutes of Kraven. Did you see this?
I did not.
Okay, well, I saw it. And I saw this article this morning, and I was like, dude, or not this morning, it was a couple days ago. I'm like, that's a genius idea. And some people are shitting out like, oh, they're doing that. It's a desperation move.
No.
Dude, what's a better way to get you interested in the movie than showing you a few minutes of the fucking movie?
Right. What did the Penguin do in the show when, you know, all the bosses were trying to go against him, or Sophia was trying to kill off all the people that was distributing for him? He gave his product away
for free.
He created a demand for his product. So that's what kind of what they're doing.
Yeah. And it's like, dude, if you have faith, like if you really do believe that what you made is great, it's going to grab our attention, then why wouldn't you do this?
Right.
You know, like you see these dressed up trailers with the music, the cutting, the editing's great, right? It's like, you know, we got James Gunn just, you know, the trailer's not good enough yet. Motherfucker, just release like 5 minutes of the movie. How don't you just do that?
Right.
Like, I hope that this starts a trend. I don't know about you, but I'd rather see a section of the movie that, I don't want to spoil anything, but something to get me intrigued versus seeing one of these hype trailers.
Well, let's think about that,
right?
So would you want to see 8 minutes of Madam Web?
Yeah, because then I wouldn't have wanted to see it. I would know that it's that bad.
True.
Yeah, so absolutely. Yep.
Yeah.
I actually would rather have seen 8 minutes of Madam Web than the whole thing, you know? So, but I don't know, like, you know, you think about in the past times when test footage, we did a whole piece on Deadpool and Wolverine and how the Deadpool test footage that leaked by someone we don't know is probably, maybe this sounds a little bit like Ryan Reynolds, maybe. Right. We're not accusing him, but he did kind of admit to it. That leaked, and that helped get that movie made.
Right.
So instead of, like, sitting back and, you know, having to be the smartest guy in the room and be the why don't y'all just ask us? Right. It's a different environment than it was 30 years ago.
Yep, definitely.
With the internet, I mean, you can drop a thing on, you could drop something on social media today, and based off the response, know if you should make that movie or not.
Right. What is it, McFarlane?
Yep.
You need to drop 8 minutes of Spawn, something.
Yeah, there you go. But yeah, I did see the 8 minutes. I don't know if you guys did. If not, check it out. But I'll tell you this: it feels rated R. It's definitely brutal. It's definitely. I like the tone, at least of the 8 minutes. Aaron Taylor Johnson looks great as Kraven. He's fucking jacked too. There's a scene where he's like he's in jail and he gets out and then he changes his shirt and he's like just massive. And he just has that look down. And I don't know, dude, he sounds got a good Russian accent too.
Yeah.
So all in all, dude, it made me more excited to go see the movie.
Sure.
So like I could see someone being on the fence, seeing that, and then wanting to go. So I do hope that we see more of this.
Yeah, definitely. And I do hope it leads into a team up with, not a team up, but some kind of on-screen presence with the character that actually birthed him, which is Spiderman.
Right. Yeah. Absolutely. It would be a disservice because it does. Now again, hey, the rest of the movie could be shit. We've definitely seen movies where there's a solid 8 minutes somewhere in there.
Right.
So it could be shit. Who knows?
Right. Or all the best parts of the movie is in the commercial.
Right.
Then you go to the movie, it's like, dude, I didn't need to see the rest of this shit at all.
Yep. And then we've seen things where, hey, the first 2 acts are great, and then the ending is just a disaster.
Right.
So who knows? I'm not saying just because these 8 minutes were good, it's 8 minutes. But it definitely seems that they follow that tone, and it at least Aaron Taylor Johnson as Kraven seems like it's going to be a satisfying, character or whatnot. He also came out and said that he kind of suggested that by the end of the movie, his character will be a full villain, which he's smart for saying that.
Right.
He definitely watches the show. He's got to be, right?
Absolutely. Because how many times have we said, villains should be villains, let superhero be. Now, there are some on the fence characters.
Sure.
Catwoman. Dr. Doom, even.
Yeah.
He's borderline.
Depends on the day.
It depends on the day. So it just depends. But then you got like a Carnage or
a Joker.
or a Thanos. I mean, just Well, even Thanos, if you look at what he's trying to do, that's different.
Yep.
Galactus.
Yeah.
You know, you look at what he's doing. Yeah, he's destroying planets, but there's this whole cosmic balance thing going on.
And it's like you talked about the Penguin. There's no confusion there, dude.
Oh, there's no confusion there.
He ain't no anti-hero. It ain't. It depends on the day. He's an asshole. He's a savage. He's a piece of shit every day of the week.
Every day.
Yep.
Every day.
I mean, same thing with Joker. And that just goes to show you like how stupid WB can be at times because you tried to make Joker somebody that we care about. We don't care about Joker. We're intrigued because he's fucking crazy.
That's right. That's right.
No one's sympathetic towards Joker outside of Harley Quinn.
Right.
And she's tapped too.
You can't. If an apple is birth rotten, right? You're not gonna put it somewhere and incubate it and try to make it into like a ripe apple. Right. You're just gonna toss that shit. And Penguin, he coming off the stem.
Yes.
As a seedling, he was fucking rotten to the core, dude.
Yep. But yeah, so what's his name? Aaron Taylor Johnson does say that, you know, by the end of the movie, actually, let me get you the exact quote here. He says that, come see the movie. I promise it won't disappoint. It's got all the beats that you want and more. I think it could be an audience sort of villain favorite. Definitely go toe to toe with some other people down the line, man. So they're smart.
Right.
Like they've, I guess, smartened up because they've been, you know, a disaster in the past. But planting these seeds, like, first of all, releasing the 8 minutes that I think went over pretty well based off of fan reactions. And these things that they're saying that he's going to be a villain, we're not going to, you know, change this. Because I think that listening to us, one of my issues with Venom is the fact that ain't no Venom I've ever seen in the comics.
Right.
Maybe later on he becomes, but early Venom was a villain.
Yep.
Eddie Brock was an asshole.
Yep.
They made Eddie Brock just like a dumbass. So he's got the ass in there, but it's just they switched the other words around. Asshole, dumbass, you know?
There you go.
So they're watching, obviously, as you pointed out. But I think this is very smart from the actor standpoint, and it's because a lot of times they say stupid shit on these marketing, you know, campaigns. But that makes sense. I like that he's teasing the Spider-Man interaction down the road. It's almost like putting the ball in Marvel's court now.
Right.
Like, we got this villain for you. Y'all got a badass Spider-Man. I'd love to see Tom Holland go toe-to-toe with this Kraven the Hunter, dude.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely, dude.
Yeah.
And like you say, he does look the part, too.
Oh, yeah.
And that's something that, like, if we ever had, like, a where we talk about the actors portraying a particular role, I mean, that's definitely spot on.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, so now all he's got to, so he's starting out with an A. Let's see if he keeps it.
Yep. I like that, dude. You're positive today.
Hey, I'm trying to be, man.
Shit. Well, this may make you not as positive. So James Gunn's talking again, dude.
Okay.
He is talking. He says that Superman is an enormous bear of a movie. Okay. And David Corenswet is going to freak everyone out with how great he is. That's his statement on Superman Legacy so far.
All right. Hey, James, why don't you let us be the judge of whether or not we think he's great and all this other kind of stuff.
That's what you get, James. Now, we're talking about Kraven releasing 8 minutes of the movie.
Right.
At this point, would you rather just, hey, give us a few minutes of this Superman instead of talking, fucking yapping, and pretending you're putting out a trailer you're not, and telling us what's going to be canon and what's not? I would prefer, don't even give us a trailer, dude. Give us 5 minutes of this movie.
Absolutely.
Right?
Yeah.
There you have it. So if that happens, dude, I want to check. Okay?
Right.
I'm tired of the shit, Adrian. I'm not going to stand for them. You know, we've been giving shit to them for free for too long.
What's it? My idea isn't a good idea until it's your idea.
Right. Yep. Absolutely. I have another one. Fuck you. Pay me. But this movie here, the Superman movie, I think it. I don't want to say it could make or break the DCU, but this is going to be a big movie. Or it will have a major impact on the DCU. I can't say it's going to be a big movie. If this movie's really good and builds an awesome universe that everyone's excited for, dude, the DCU could be insanely successful. If it's not, it could be another DCEU.
Right. I'm thinking there's a lot on the line because, you know, they cleaned house with Cavill, Affleck, what's her face, Wonder Woman,
Gal Gadot.
Gal Gadot. They clean house with that, so they have to make a statement.
Mm-hmm.
So not only do they have to make a statement, and they have to make a good movie.
Right.
So we'll see, dude. I mean, it is a bear. Anytime you do a Superman movie, it's going to be a tremendous event.
Right.
Simply because of who you're trying to represent.
Yep.
On the big screen. But who you're trying to represent and then trying to cover up your tracks from a previous slaughter, those are two different things. But I think they are trying to do both of those in one fell swoop. Yeah,
I think you're right. There's a lot on the line. I look at this movie as something that could potentially be the DCU's Iron Man movie.
Right.
Because Superman is, as much as, we may talk some shit about Superman.
Sure.
Batman whoop his ass. But anyways, he is a very important character to the DC.
Absolutely.
I mean, he's the second best character there, right? You got Batman, then you got like a big gap, and then you got Superman, and then you got other people, right? Like, that's a fact, actually. A lot of these are opinions. That one's a fact.
Yeah.
But this movie being done properly could, like I said, could set this up. Mm-hmm. But if you screw this one up, it's hard to come back from that.
Well, we also got to remember what happened at the end of Black Adam.
Yep.
Who showed up?
Yeah, Henry Cavill.
So now you got to erase that from the minds of people too, because they're expecting some kind of conflict or showdown or something.
Yeah.
So you got to make that go away.
He killed off Black Adam. That character doesn't exist here. So all that shit's gone except for like some of Peacemaker and some of the Suicide Squad for some reason. Like, you might as well just kill it all off.
Right.
But I think this could be this is a make or break movie. I don't know if they screw up Superman, how they come back from that. Because then your only other top guy is Batman. Like, you got Flash and shit, but I don't know I don't see those characters as important as Superman and Batman. Right? Like, is there another DC character that you go, if they fuck up Superman, they could just throw this guy in there?
No.
I don't think so.
But what they did with like Captain America and Falcon, almost. I mean, it's not quite the same, but imagine if you smash up Batman and Superman. They're two independent characters, and they are not interchangeable.
Right.
And they are wholly two separate entities that if you can't swap out like the Flash, you can't swap out even Wonder Woman. Right. Who would be the third person?
One, right? Yeah.
You can't even swap in Wonder Woman to replace one of those.
No. So, hey, James Gunn, one piece of advice for you: don't fuck it up.
Right.
Okay, there you go. What do you know about the Mole Man, Adrian?
Little shady bastard. Robert De Niro glasses.
Okay.
Always on the ground, causing trouble. It's like he's a ridiculous character.
Yeah.
They just always seem to be showing up, causing problems.
Okay. Do you remember him being heavily involved with the Fantastic Four?
I think that's where he came on my radar.
Okay.
Fantastic Four. Yeah, Fantastic Four. Because I was thinking Fantastic Four or Spiderman, but I think it's Fantastic Four.
Got it. So they're I don't know where this was. If this was
man, come on, man! Don't tell me he's gonna show up in a movie.
He's going to be in Fantastic Four First Steps. That's the first one there at Adrian screaming on the set.
I'm already on the fence about not going to see this movie, right? And now they're going to bring in this. I mean, this dude, he didn't even get a Purple Award. I mean, come
on. So they found a abandoned underground set. Some people showed. They put this shit on social media. Some people found this shit underground. I don't know if it was over UK or New York, but it's like in a cave, and there was some type of Fantastic Four car or whatnot. And then the lighting map, the entrance to the set reads Subterranea, that's just where Mole Man's from or some shit. So yeah, I guess fans just found this spot and spoiled it. So now it's been confirmed that Mole Man will be in the Fantastic Four First Steps. There's a guy, Paul Walter Hauser, is rumored to be playing him. I don't even know who that is. But I've heard the Mole Man, but I can't even tell you I've ever like read anything with him in it.
When is this movie coming out?
July 25th of 25.
So they're probably wrapping up.
Oh yeah. Shooting's done. Yeah. Yep. Who else is in this movie? So
man,
Herbie, who you've talked about, that was last week.
Yep.
Hidden Gem. So if you haven't checked that out, go watch that. Not yet. Finish this one first. Where the fuck you going? There's just simple instructions, Adrian. But Herbie,
simple ain't simple.
It's definitely not. He's in this film. We know that, obviously, the Fantastic Four. We know that Franklin Richards is in this movie. We know that Galactus is in this movie. And we have heard rumors that Dr. Doom, Robert Downey Jr.'s Doom, will also be in this movie. So of all those people, is it safe to say the Mole Man is the person you're least excited to see in this movie?
Yes.
Okay.
This would be like the doctor that Sophia's boning in The Penguin. He would be that equivalent.
Shit, that's bad, dude. Now, I was all aboard. Now I don't want to see it because of that.
You still go see it.
Yeah, I'll still see it. I mean, it's Fantastic Four.
I mean, to be honest, dude, if they can do what they did with The Penguin, I mean,
True.
There is hope for the Mole Man
Yeah.
and any other 3rd, 4th, 5th, 8th tier, supervillain.
Speaking of James Gunn and speaking of the DCU, Creature Commandos dropped the other day. I've not seen it yet. Have you?
No, I thought it was.
It was a couple days ago.
Yeah. Okay, I got you.
Yeah, dude, you're still fucked up from that turkey, bro.
It would be out soon.
Yes, but I'm gonna check it out. We'll talk about it next week. But it's getting great reviews, dude, from critics. So Now early on, I don't know what Rotten Tomatoes is now, but we know how we feel about those guys. But they gave it like 100. But just yeah. But across the board, it's been getting great reviews. It's saying it's like James Gunn's tone. It's funny. It's action. And what he's doing, this is different. These characters in this movie, this show, it's animated.
Right.
But the people voicing them are also, some of them we'll see in live action. So it is tied to the same. It's not like, with Marvel, you have X-Men 97 don't tie to anything in live action. And that's fine. I think that's a cool concept, dude.
Right.
I can't remember that being done anywhere else.
So they're treating it like a alternate world or something? Like how Doctor Strange across the multiverse.
Yep.
Like when they was falling through all those different. Is it kind of like that?
No, it's in that same universe. It's just we're going to tell you this story in animation versus live action. Same characters, some of them.
Okay.
Yeah. So that sounds pretty cool.
Yeah, it sounds pretty cool.
So no, I haven't
looking forward
seen
to
it.
it. Yeah. But we've always said, DC has always kicked ass when it comes to the animation.
That's true.
Right.
Yep.
So we'll see.
Yep. One of the Games Radar review, they said James Gunn's surprisingly heartwarming rated R animated series, it's rated R, is explosive, fresh start that DC so desperately needed, and more proof that the DCU is in good hands. So, hopefully they're right, dude. Like people they say like, yo, you guys are DC haters, dude. I would love for the DCU to be successful.
Oh, absolutely. But just because James Gunn put his name on it, that doesn't on an animation. That doesn't mean that they're in the good hands, because they were doing great animation 10 years ago.
Right.
So they just continue to do what they're great at.
Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, we'll check it out this over the next week and give you guys some feedback, and let us know if you've seen it yet. But I'm just excited. I don't know anything about Creature Commanders. I never even heard of them.
I've heard of them, but I mean. To me, it's at that same level of the other weirdos.
Guardians?
No, not the Guardians. With the lizard, with the
Suicide Squad.
Suicide Squad.
Yeah.
It's at that level.
Other weirdos. James Gunn loves those groups, dude. He did the Suicide Squad. Now I didn't like that movie.
No,
his version at all.
What was that? A fucking weasel or something?
Yes,
like slobbering all over.
Yes, it was. Yeah, I think that's what we heard in the wall earlier. One of those motherfuckers. But hey, we'll check it out, dude. But I do like that concept. I think that's really cool, having an animated character be the same actor or be the same character as well.
Sure.
Because there's different stories you can tell in animation that are harder to tell in live action. So that'll be interesting to see how that works out. But yeah, but you know, we have been called DC haters, but we just point out that their shit has sucked for a long time, right? Like,
well, exactly.
Yeah, like, that's not being a hater.
No,
a hater's like when the movie's good and you pretend like it's not. I'm not saying that. And I want the DCU to be successful because it would be beneficial to Marvel fans.
Sure.
Because when is Marvel at its best? When they're competing against somebody.
Absolutely.
You know, like when MCU first started, they weren't competing against the DC, but they were competing against Hollywood and just the norm, right? Like it was, they wanted to make not only just these movies blockbusters. We've seen comic blockbusters. We never seen a shared universe on screen. It was a new thing. So they were competing against the norm of Hollywood, I guess.
Right. A better Big Mac makes a better Whopper.
I like that.
If there's such a thing as better either one of those.
Let this man cook.
Let him cook, dude. Shit. Spider-Verse, Across the Spider-Verse star Shamiek Moore. He's the guy who he voices Miles. So, dude, and the reason I'm bringing this up is because y'all fucking assholes out there. Not the fans that watch us, the other people. So he tweeted. So let me give you some context here. Haley Steinfeld voices Gwen Stacy. She is engaged now to Josh Allen, quarterback for the Buffalo Bills, right? Okay. Shamiek Moore posted this on Twitter. He says, there's still more people to meet, more opportunities to come, and more chances to try, live, learn, apply. Now, because of the timing, he posted this, I guess, shortly after she mentioned or she announced their engagement, right? And now they've been on press tours together. There's some video of him kind of like, flirting with her, messing around. So people took this and they're like, yo, why would you say that after she, like, thinking he's saying it about her because they're fucking idiots. And then he actually had to delete it and he came out, he goes, I had no idea Haley is engaged. That's amazing. I'm here reflecting on my 2024 goals that are rolling over into 25, God's timing. Y'all been twisting my words and fucking with my name for years now. Like, good for it. But, dude, what is wrong with people? Like, you really think my man is, like, out there, she got engaged, I'm going to go put this out on social media? Like,
anonymity is a thing.
Absolutely. So, and what does that really have to do with it? Nothing outside of he's from Across the Spider-Verse, right. We talked a little bit about, you said, what'd you call them? Those crazy or the Suicide Squad?
Weirdos.
The weirdos. There's other weirdos, the Thunderbolts. It's a movie. It's coming out early next year. David Harbour, he's the guy who plays Red Guardian.
Yep.
What'd you think about his character? I know Black Widow movies, like, I think it was just the timing of that movie, but...
The Red Guardian is supposed to be Russia's Captain America, and he is not. He is not.
Right.
He's funny.
Yeah.
The way they portrayed him is cool.
Yeah.
But he's not the version in the comic book.
Okay. Now, do you think it would make sense that he's an older, like maybe at one point he was the version in the comic book, and now we're seeing this guy as an older kind of bum?
It's possible.
Okay.
Man, he just went the wrong way.
Let himself go, bro.
Yeah, he did.
Yo, superheroing's not easy, dude. It's a lot of stress.
Clearly.
But he is impressed with the recent cut he saw of Thunderbolts. So, and one of the things I'm not bringing this piece up just because he's impressed, because, like, who cares? But he talked about how Marvel, this is exact words, Marvel is excited by its expansion to a certain degree. And also, I think they're doing a bit of course correction around getting too big in a way with the Disney Plus stuff. Says that I'm excited for you guys to see Thunderbolts. I'm impressed with the direction. It's surprising. It's a real movie. And then he went on to say that they're paying attention to chemistry. And I think there's something about this group that's special that, to me, feels like when you watch Scarlett Johansson and Chris Evans, you watch his chemistry. Basically, like, there's chemistry between the characters. Now, I think that is a big deal in movies.
Absolutely.
Right? Like, sometimes, and we're going to talk about Batman Returns later, and there was some really good chemistry with Michael Keaton and Michelle Pfeiffer, in my opinion. And I think sometimes a movie that maybe the story's not the best in the world, a lot of times chemistry can save or just even make the overall movie better. Right? Like,
the chemistry can fill the voids.
Yeah.
Because you know how sometimes it looked like you're watching a movie and it's like the director said cut in silence. And then, like, there's this silence, uneasiness, and it's like a slice of acting cut, a slice of acting cut, and it just feels that way sometimes.
Yeah,
and those that chemistry is that stuff that fills in that little void. If the movie is not as good or entertaining.
Correct. Then there's the other end where I think a good story and a good visual movie and all this stuff could be ruined by bad chemistry.
Right.
You get two actors that just don't vibe together. It's like, oh, that. And he went on to say this. I like this part. He says, I think the problem with all this stuff is we get lost in the algorithm or what we think works or what the data tells us, but you can't. This ineffable quality of human beings interacting with other human beings, that's a special chemistry. It may not be nice, may be unpleasant, but he goes on to say a bunch of other shit. He's yapping. It's my yapathon. What the fuck's he doing? But I like that perspective. Right. Like, if that's true, I mean, and I like this over, like, the movie's really good. Like, okay, dude, relax. Or the whole Tom Cruise effect. It's the best movie. Bro, shut up, little guy. But this is a very, like, a very intentional, very precise piece of feedback. And from what we saw from the trailer, now again it's just a trailer, it did seem like these characters had a good kind of chemistry vibe together.
Sure.
The last Thunderbolts trailer we saw.
Yeah.
So this has me, I'm kind of on this. I'm on a positive train today, Adrian.
Well, I think they've learned enough from mistakes, theirs and others.
And
right?
us, yeah.
DC from Marvel from DC, mostly DC from Marvel.
Yep.
And both of them, sitting on our learning tree.
Yep.
But so they should be able to produce probably quite a few movies, one after the other one. That's entertaining, at the very least entertaining.
Right.
So no more Madam Webs and Venoms and more Morbiuses and crap like that.
Yep.
But we shall see.
We shall see. You know what else we're going to see? March 4th, coming to Disney Plus, Daredevil Born Again.
All right.
We're right around the corner now, dude.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Man, I'm thinking like the first 3 months of next year is going to go by, dude.
It is, dude.
Yep. Wow.
Well, you got your boy Captain Falcon coming out in February for Happy Valentine's Day. You'll get to go see, Captain Falcon over there. And then March 4th, you got Daredevil, so about a month later. Thunderbolts is somewhere in there. I think it may be in March as well, so I don't know. And then July, we have both Superman Legacy and Fantastic Four First Steps. Right. It's going to be a fucking loaded year.
Somebody might want to move that.
Move which one?
Between the Fantastic Four and Superman.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
Yeah. I mean, so you talked about Black Adam earlier.
Right.
I do think one of the things that hurt Black Adam's box office is being released so close to Black Panther 2.
Right.
Like, somebody, that's one of the baddest. But shut up. It's my show. Shut the fuck up. We like that show.
It was bad, but the anticipation was high.
Yeah. Right. Oh, I'm talking about Black Adam. I like that. You like?
Yeah.
I mean, you got the hat on, right?
Right. No, I was talking about Black Panther.
Oh yeah,
Panther 2.
Yep. But I think that name, the fact that it was the Black Panther movie after Chadwick passed, and the whole people went out to see that.
Right.
And it was right around the time of Black Adam. It was like literally 2 weeks apart. I forget which one came out first, but I think that hurt the box office, to be honest.
Sure.
So you're saying don't make that mistake again here.
Right.
Who should move? Superman or Fantastic Four?
I mean, neither one of those movies are summer movies per se. I would probably move Fantastic Four to later.
Okay.
Yeah.
So basically, Superman's the big dog.
No, so I don't know. Have you ever seen this movie called The Core?
No.
Where the Earth, the core that's supposed to be at the center of the round Earth, not the flat Earth, right? At the center of the round Earth, stopped moving.
Yeah.
And when the core, which is basically molten metal, right? When it stops moving, it affects the geomagnetic field. The ozone starts ripping open, and what's going to happen is that's going to peel away, and the sun's going to blast us and fry the planet. Kind of deal.
Fun.
Well, to jumpstart the core again, this guy came up with this technology and machinery to drill down to the core at an insane rate of speed. They get down to the core and they light off these bombs, right? Now, they thought originally that they had to do it all at once.
Yeah.
Okay. Superman, Fantastic Four, all at once. Well, but they realized that if they did it all at once, it just would be a big explosion and nothing really would happen. So what they had to do was time the bombs and drop them off in succession. So you get this blast ripple effect. So one bomb goes off, giant explosion, ripple happens. The next, it's like a tidal wave, an ongoing tidal wave. That's what they need to do with the box office. Space these two supposedly big movies apart so that there's a ripple effect, right? Engage your audience, get them in May, June, whatever, right? Get them time to be all excited about the first movie, talk about it, whatever. Then the next one comes up, boom, drop that one. And then a few months later, that one. Never release them together because you have one big explosion and then everything goes away. Everybody stops talking about the movie in 2 or 3 weeks. And if you're like the Joker, you're streaming in 10 days.
Damn.
So I'm just saying.
Shit. Well, here's the track we're on right now, Adrian. July 11th is when Superman Legacy is scheduled to drop. And then a whole 2 weeks later, on July 25th, is when the Fantastic Four First Steps is going to drop. So 2 weeks. So based on your analogy there, what you're saying is Superman's going to drop. So it's going to have a big first week, right? Big second week, but then Fantastic Four is going to drop, and then Superman's third week's going to suck because everyone's going to go see Fantastic Four. Right. So it sounds like Superman should move because they're coming out first.
Right. Well, I mean, I would space them out even further.
Yeah.
I would put 6 weeks, a month, 2 months between them.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, if y'all move this date,
right,
we want another check.
Exactly.
Okay?
Exactly.
And that one needs to be bigger.
That's it.
Jesus, we don't do this for free. Well, we do, but
apparently we are.
So Daredevil Born Again, dude. I'm rewatching Daredevil. You've seen the whole show, right?
Right.
I've seen the first season in the past and about half of the second season. And I was talking to my wife because she's watching it with me now. After Penguin, I'm like, you need to watch Daredevil because she loved Penguin. And I'm like, oh, you ain't seen shit yet. Check this out. And she's into it. She's loving it. And dude, it's a great show.
Yeah.
Like watching that, I'm like, I hope I can get through those Jessica Jones, all this shit before this show comes out because a lot of these characters are supposed to be coming back. But the original.
And when is that coming out? Daredevil Born Again?
March. I just fucking had it too. March 4th. Yep. Coming to Disney Plus. And I think they're dropping all the episodes at once, maybe. I can't remember that piece or not. But what they said was, because a lot of people were thinking, when does this take place, right? Because we had 3 seasons of Daredevil. We had, I think, 2 or 3 of Jessica Jones. There was a couple of Luke Cage, Defenders. You had all this stuff. But then they stopped. We've seen Daredevil in She-Hulk. Yep. We've seen Echo. We've seen him in Echo. We've seen Matt Murdock in No Way Home as Peter's lawyer at the time. So we know they know each other. He doesn't know he's Spider-Man, or maybe he does. He's probably does, right? Like he's Daredevil,
right? Because again, all of his other senses would put like heartbeat because he can identify people by heartbeat,
right?
So. Probably.
He can tell when somebody's sick.
Right.
So he's got to be able to tell that this kid Peter's got something different in his body. Right? Like he's got these powers and shit.
Right.
We may have just discovered an Easter egg here that no one knew.
I think the primary thing, though, is the heartbeat. Yeah. Because it's like for him, a heartbeat is like a fingerprint. Yeah. Everybody's unique.
Right. But I think with all his senses, he's got to be able to tell that this kid's got more going on.
Right.
So, dude, look at that, bro. Just give us another check.
There you go.
We're going to have stacks in here, dude, pretty soon. Probably not.
The key word is soon.
Yeah. I mean, someone's eventually going to have to pay these interns.
Right?
Dude. I mean, shit. But the reason I brought up this is, I don't know about you, but I was thinking, like, when does this take place? Like, is it going to be right after that show, in the middle, whatever? And one of the actors from the show confirmed that this show, Born Again, takes place 5 years after the end of Daredevil season 3.
Oh shit!
So I think that's cool because that way you can still, that series, a lot of the whatever happened there still impacts this, but it's 5 years later, so we don't have to like continue any of those stories. We can kind of have a fresh start, but it's still the same character. So it's not a reboot. It's just, hey, we're picking up like a time jump, 5 years. I like that, dude.
There's a lot that can happen in 5 years from a comic book character perspective.
Yep.
That means that he's been running rampant for 5 years. Nobody did it. 8 years actually, because 3 years.
Right.
In the series, and now 5 years has passed, and now he's picking up again.
Yeah.
So to me, that means a lot.
Yeah.
When in the comics, because the characters don't age, you don't really think about age. But then when you see these actors without the costumes and the mask, they're looking older.
Oh yeah,
it's different.
Yep.
So, but even when you say, okay, it's 5 years past all that stuff, that's a lot of implication. You know, we're at Batman year 2. Now imagine if the next one comes out, it's 5 years later.
Right.
I mean, we shouldn't be seeing him scribbling shit down in a book.
No.
You know, he should be out like almost, you know, teleporting around town.
Right.
He's moving so quick.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
Yeah, I mean, I do think the version of Daredevil that we've seen, like in Echo and even in She-Hulk, it definitely feels, you know, years later. He's more advanced. He's a badass. I mean, he's always been a badass.
Right.
But dude, that fight scene in Echo is one of the highlights of that show.
Yeah, it was.
But dude,
I mean, that really was some Batman levels.
Yeah.
There.
Yep. I mean, let's not get crazy. But it was close.
That was some Batman levels.
But yeah, 5 years later, dude, I like it. I do. Well, that is our news and rumors. We like to wrap up news and rumors with a little thumbs up, thumbs down. So are you ready, Adrian?
Let's do it.
Let's do it. Number 1, Kraven the Hunter draws from its comic origin. He'll be a villain by the end of the movie, and they're heading to Spider-Man. This is a thumbs up.
Definitely thumbs up.
Sony releases the first 8 minutes of Kraven the Hunter online this past week. I give this as many thumbs ups as I can do. More people need to start doing this.
Thumbs up.
James Gunn says Superman Legacy is an enormous bear of a movie, and David Corenswet is going to freak everybody out with how great he is. I'm torn on it. Like, I'm glad he's excited, you know, but because we haven't, you know what? Thumbs down.
Exactly.
What the fuck thumbs I'm talking down. About. Thumbs down. Mole Man, everyone's favorite villain, Adrian. Mole Man.
Thumbs down. You know, so this is kind of what I do. Yep. You know, my initial impressions, because I'm going off of 20, 30-year-old stuff, right? But I mean, again, to me, like the Mole Man was like the Penguin. They were both at that kind of level.
Right.
I mean, two different houses, but from what I've seen, what they've done with the show, the Penguin, I'm optimistic about what they can do with the Mole Man.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
So where are you going?
So I'll do a thumbs up.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, I'm going to go thumbs up because I do think that a lot of times with Marvel MCU, we've seen them take, you know, character, even like Iron Man, for example, who was not a top tier, and they made him the face of Marvel. He
wasn't top tier to you.
Who, Iron Man?
Yeah.
To me?
To you. He was not.
He was not.
Yes.
And to a lot of other people.
That's okay.
But my point is they made him top tier.
Sure.
Like, now you think Marvel, you think Iron Man.
Right.
I don't think you said that in 1995.
No, when you Marvel, when you thought Marvel, you thought Spider-Man. X-Men, Avengers, not any individual.
Right.
But the individuals that stood out was definitely Spider-Man, Hulk, Captain America, things like that.
Yeah. But so the fact that they could take, you know, that character, make him the face of Marvel.
Right.
And I mean, he's literally like Marvel's equivalent to Batman from a popularity standpoint, from the films, right? Because like before, you know, they looked at Avengers as a whole. Now it's like you look at you think Iron Man before Avengers.
Right.
So yeah, I do think I give it thumbs up. I think they can do something with Mole Man. Creature Commandos gets good reviews from critics online. Just dropped this past week. I've not seen it yet, but based on what I'm hearing about this, it's an animated series where the characters will also, some of them will be in live action. I give this a thumbs up.
Thumbs up.
Across the Spider-Verse star Shamiek Moore receives online backlash for a tweet he made about his 2024 or 2025 goals, and people said he was throwing shade at Haley Steinfeld. I give this a thumbs down.
Thumbs down.
The fuck is wrong with y'all? You know,
people ain't got none of this.
No, they don't. Nothing going on. They've been too busy watching sneaker reveals. You know, it's probably the same people actually.
Right.
The same people watching that sneaker reveal, probably talking shit about Shamiek Moore. Thunderbolts star David Harbour was impressed with a recent cut of the movie. He says that they're focused on chemistry between the actors, between the characters. I give this a thumbs up.
Sure, thumbs up.
Daredevil Born Again drops May 4th of next year. It's revealed that it will take place 5 years after the original show, so I give that a thumbs up.
Thumbs up.
Well, that is thumbs up, thumbs down. Like this video if you haven't already. Go check out or go subscribe to our YouTube. Go to onlycomicsmerch.com. Do something. But actually, no, wait. Finish the show first. So there's going to be a theme, Adrian, to our next segment. Our next segment is Hit or Miss Cast. And since we're going to be talking about Batman Returns in a minute, I figured we'd do a Batman Returns Hit or Miss Cast, Okay. So see how I did that? I am going to throw out some casting choices from that movie, and Adrian's going to let me know in his opinion if it was a hit or a miss. And we just watched it, so it's fresh, right? Sure. So can't go, well, how would you say it? You just saw it like yesterday. So are you ready?
Sure.
Number 1, Michael Keaton as Batman.
Miss.
Michael Keaton as Bruce Wayne. Oh, shit. Damn, Michael Keaton. Number 3, Michelle Pfeiffer as Catwoman / Selena Kyle.
Everything. Hit.
Danny DeVito as the Penguin.
Hit.
And Christopher Walken as Max Schreck.
I don't know who that character is.
He's not even a character.
So I would say a hit because I mean he's a non-factor in anything.
Right. Okay.
Even though I don't like Christopher Walken, his character, the way he moves and talks, his characters need to be very specific.
Yes.
And it's not that guy.
Oh, you didn't like it? Okay.
I don't think he should have been in the movie.
Okay.
But for the character that he played, I would say a hit.
Got it. All right. Well, that is hit or miss cast. Guys, let us know if you agree or not. So we are going to hop into Batman Returns. But actually, before we get into the movie itself, you know me, Adrian. I did some research. I looked at like how we got there, right?
Sure.
So this is the sequel to Batman. Now everyone calls it Batman '89, but the first Batman movie.
Right.
Jack Nicholson, Tim Burton was a director. So that movie was a success. Or I'm sorry, let's back it up. Superman, 1978. Christopher Reeves. We were talking about this earlier. That was like, I mean, that was a big movie for you back then, right? Like
right.
that was like the first like real big good superhero movie.
Yes.
There was not like they had a little shit before that, but this was the first blockbuster.
Correct.
Right? So after that was a success, of course, WB. They want to develop another DC movie, right? So that's where they got the idea for Batman because of Superman's success. Tim Burton was hired because of the success of his film Pee-wee's Big Adventure. You ever seen this? I've never seen Pee Wee Herman shit.
I've heard of it, but I don't. It's so long ago. I don't remember if I actually ever saw it. Or not.
So
but I remember his adventure in the movie theater.
Yeah. So we were talking about like don't sing in the movie theater.
Right.
I'd much rather somebody singing than somebody Pee Wee and Herman in that motherfucker, bro. Holy shit. No Diddy.
No doubt.
No. Yeah. But Tim Burton was hired because of the success of Pee-wee's Big Adventure, which came out in '85. Wow. His vision was because at the time, the only Batman we had a Batman movie. We had the 1966 Batman, the Adam West.
Right. Well, that wasn't a movie. It was a show.
They had a movie, too.
Oh, did it?
Yeah, it came out in '60. I actually tried to watch it the other night on Prime, but it's one of those, like, you have it, you don't, you got to buy it, rent it. And I'm like, dude, I'm going to fall asleep anyways. I'm not even fucking with this right now.
Well, since you went down that bunny trail, did you watch the Spanish Batwoman?
No. The Spanish Batwoman?
Yeah, it was earlier than that.
No, really?
Oh, yeah, dude.
No.
This stuff goes way back.
Damn. Dude, you are a wealth of knowledge over there, Adrian.
That's how I roll.
That is, dude. But that was the only Batman we really had on screen then, right? And it was really campy, really. And Tim Burton wanted to do the opposite of that. Sam Hamm, he wrote the initial script. And this movie, the original one, released on June 23rd of '89, and it was to coincide with the 50th anniversary of Batman.
Yep.
Record-breaking weekend, dude. It grossed over. Well, the weekend is record-breaking, but the total gross was $400 million worldwide, which made it one of the highest-grossing films of the year. Dude, that's crazy in '89.
Yeah, right.
I mean, I'm no mathematician, but it's got to be like the equivalent to doing $1 billion today.
Yeah.
Right? $400 million in '89.
Yep.
I mean, that's back when gas cost 14 cents, right? You can get
it wasn't quite 14.
Okay, maybe 89 cents.
That's better.
But yes, this movie was a success. Jack Nicholson played Joker.
Yep.
and your boy Michael Keaton was in there. But
Prince had the soundtrack.
Prince did have the soundtrack.
Wait a minute. You wasn't even born when Purple Rain came out?
I was born in 85. Was Purple Rain after that?
I think it was 84 when it came out.
Oh, shit, dude.
Damn, dude.
I was conceived to print. No.
I'm Prince's love child.
Movie won an Academy Award for Best Art Direction. And this movie, a lot of people say it kind of ushered in that modern superhero film genre, darker tone,
Yeah.
Because that was the one, Superman, it was, great movie, especially for the time, but it was Superman. It was bright. It was fun. It was classic superhero shit, right? Mm-hmm. 1992, Batman Returns comes out. So at first, Tim Burton didn't even want to return for this movie. So, and it wasn't about Batman itself. It was just that he was skeptical of sequels. Mm-hmm. He believed that they're only worthwhile if they're able to get the chance to explore something new. Mm-hmm. And the original Batman movie, I've read that it was kind of 50-50 Tim Burton and 50 WB and DC, their influence. Mm-hmm. So for Batman Returns, he eventually agreed, obviously, but the deal was he wanted to have more control over the script. He wanted to be the one that have all the say. Sam Hamm's original script had Harvey Dent in it more. So I don't know if you remember, but in the original Batman, Billy D. Williams played Harvey Dent.
Right.
And he was supposed to actually turn into Two-Face in that second movie, which is funny because we'll talk about the movie later. But you notice that whole theme of duality, yes. It's like it feels like it's almost missing Two-Face, honestly.
Yeah.
But anyway, so originally that was going to be the plan. Robin was supposed to be in it. Marlon Wayans was going to play Robin. Yeah, it was kind of wacky.
That would have been a comedy.
Yeah.
Sounds like.
Yep. But so this Batman Returns the goal was to be more of a Tim Burton movie, weirder, more hip, more fun. And then they replaced the writer with what's this guy's name? I don't know. It don't matter what his name is.
I don't even know who you are.
Tim Burton's only instructions to the writer though was to have write the script with no connection to Batman, the first movie. Mm-hmm. So even though it's a sequel, it doesn't really feel like much of a sequel.
Right.
Like there's not much outside of one reference to Vicky Vale. There's really no reference to anything in the first movie.
Who is Vicky Vale? Who is that? Catwoman.
Yeah. Yeah, who you talking to? And actually Vicky Vale was originally supposed to be in this movie, and they were going to get engaged and all kinds of shit. But long story short, they basically gave Tim Burton what he wanted, full control. And the funny thing about this movie is there was a marketing piece, not a marketing piece. They did this deal with McDonald's. They had toys, Batman Returns. As a matter of fact, hold on, I got them here. Hey, go to that shot real quick. So those I actually had these, dude. Because I was 6, 7 years old when this movie came out. Dude, I'll tell you what, this Batmobile right here, see a little button on the top?
Yep.
Bro, you pull that bitch back, hit that button, that thing goes.
Really?
Oh, yeah. Yep. So, yeah, look at this, dude. This was the whole, the French fry box was black with the Batman shit. So they did a big old marketing deal. They really hyped this shit up. And then the problem, though, is the movie came out, and a lot of parents were complaining because they said it wasn't a kid-friendly movie. Now, you just watched this. It is PG-13. Do you think it's a great movie? Because now McDonald's Happy Meals are geared towards 6 and 7-year-olds, right? Now a bunch of my kids don't. My 14-year-old ain't eating a Happy Meal, bro. They hungry,
right?
So, do you think that there was kind of was it a miss with this marketing plan to gear towards these younger kids to have them go see that movie?
Well, first of all, I don't think you should be marketing to 6 and 7-year-olds. I mean, not something like this.
Yeah.
And it's definitely, and I understand the parents' concern that, that it wasn't kid friendly because there were some scenes, there was some language.
Yeah.
I mean, it wasn't a rated R kind of language.
No.
But it was when the Penguin was talking about, filling this chick's voice.
Yes.
And the way he was
groping people.
Yeah, all that kind of crazy stuff. biting the dude's nose off, or biting the dude's nose. The cat with the chewing on what's her face's fingers.
Yep.
The fact that she got pushed out the window.
Yeah.
All that stuff, dude. The guy just unloading toward the end with the gun. So it definitely was not trying to attract 6 to 7 year olds.
Right. Like it kind of seems an odd thing for a movie like that to have toys at McDonald's. Right. Like you don't take The Boys. You can't go get the toy. You can't get a Homelander toy in your Happy Meal, bro. It's not gonna happen.
Yep.
So this ain't that crazy, but it's still, I don't know that that's a 6-year-old should be watching that shit, dude. So there was a bunch of backlash from the parents, and what ended up happening was McDonald's, they came out and said that their promotion focused on the general popularity of the Batman character, not specific the content of Batman Returns. Dude, we just saw the picture. Like, those are Batman Returns characters. Right. They're not like, what you talking about? So McDonald's, they're fucking delusional. But what it did was it caused Warner Brothers to reconsider the tone of the Batman movies. Mm-hmm. This is how crazy this is. This movie was a success. Mm-hmm. The first one was a success. Mm-hmm. And because of some feedback from parents, because whoever was in charge of your whole marketing strategy marketed towards the wrong demographic, you're now going to change the tone. So for the next movie, Batman Forever, that's Val Kilmer. What's his name? Michael Keaton didn't come back. Tim Burton didn't come back because he stepped down. Joel Schumacher took over, and they wanted it to be basically more campy, more fun, more geared towards kids. That movie got crazy mixed reviews, and then Batman and Robin was one of the worst performing movies ever. Right. And it's like they screwed up this Batman franchise because they marketed to the wrong group and they listened to the wrong outrage, in my opinion. Yeah. It's crazy, dude.
Yeah, I agree with that.
So anyways, that's kind of, what's that? That's my long story as to, I guess get us into Batman Returns. This movie, Adrian, when's the last time you seen this? Years ago.
Years ago. Yeah. Probably when it first came out.
It's a little swig of water for the working man, Stay hydrated, guys. No, it's not vodka. I wish it was. Dude, the tone of this movie...
It's tequila.
It's tequila. No, I drink the dark stuff, dude.
Yeah.
Actually, before we get in the tone...
Yep.
Score this movie out of 10. What do you give it? I'm going to say 7.
I was going to say 6.
6, okay. Yeah. The tone of this movie is dark, but it is campy as well, I feel. Like, there's a lot of tomfoolery in this movie.
Yes.
There's some silliness. And if you don't know what tomfoolery is, it's actually, I got the definition here for you. It's foolish or ridiculous behavior, senseless behavior, like pulling pranks or being obnoxious, okay? We get into some tomfoolery here sometimes. Matter of fact, I can guarantee you, this is a spoiler. When we get on, we respond later, there's going to be some tomfoolery. Is that a true statement?
That is absolutely true.
But there's some tomfoolery in this movie.
Right.
It feels Tim Burton.
Yeah.
Are you a fan of Tim Burton's work in general?
No.
No?
Well, I liked the Nightmare Before Christmas.
Yeah, okay.
That's it.
That's it.
His live action stuff, not really, because it's like he tries to make a Nightmare Before Christmas live in every one of his movies.
Yeah. I'm torn because some stuff, like, I think I like his earlier shit, or maybe it's just a few movies. I love Beetlejuice, the first one.
Right.
I did not like the second one.
Right. I like Beetlejuice. I did not watch the second one.
Yeah, you don't need to. I did like this movie, Batman Returns. The first one, I like it, but I think it's probably more of a nostalgic thing because it was only Batman we had at the time.
Right.
I've tried to watch Alice in Wonderland a handful of times, and I just can't get into his version for whatever reason. So I'm hit or miss on him. But this does feel Tim Burton-esque, right? The some of the silliness, the Batmobile in the beginning when it has like all these like little bars that come out and trip people, like, dude, you're big on, like, you should always say the math, right? So, all right, I wanted to ask you about this, the cylinder. So the Batmobile needs to turn around. It's got this giant cylinder that pushes the car up and then it spins around.
Man, with all of that stuff, that car would be so heavy it wouldn't even move. Yep. I mean, first of all, you have to put the math, right? That cylinder has to be so. You do a weight and balance in an airplane, right?
Yeah.
There's a center point or fulcrum in the plane. It's an imaginary line where if you put a plane on a pin, it would balance itself.
Okay.
Right? And it's typically somewhere like right around, like maybe right behind like a Cessna, right behind the pilot seat.
Okay.
Right. And then you do a weight and balance, and you put people in the front, you put people in the back, you got some storage, so on and so forth. All right. What's the point? This massive pylon that drops down and hits the ground. In order for that to even work, it would have to be right where he sits.
Right.
Right. Or I mean, it could probably be behind, because this particular Batmobile had a long ass nose, so the engine is up there. But still, you're gonna take up the hydraulics, and the room that it takes to drop that thing is gonna take up that whole cavern. Which is why you didn't see a wide shot of the Batmobile turn around, as opposed to this seeing the cylinder drop. Then you add in the bullshit that comes out the side, right?
Just to trip people.
Yeah, I mean, come on, man. That's major ridiculous.
Yes.
The Batmobile looked cool though.
It did, yes. Yeah, I was going to ask that. Take away all the silliness.
Right.
The look of that Batmobile is one of the top Batmobiles we've ever seen on screen.
Yeah. I mean, that thing's probably so heavy. They probably put a fishing line up to the front of it and just pulled it down the street because they couldn't have an engine in it.
No.
It's too heavy, dude. It'd probably go 3 miles an hour.
How about the armor that just pops out of everywhere? And then, dude, one of I think the biggest tomfoolery with this Batmobile is when he needs to get through that little alley, and then half the car just falls apart, and now it's just like this torpedo on wheels.
Come on, man.
That's why I say this movie's campy.
Right.
It has a campiness to it. It's not a bad thing. It's just a little foolish, a little funny.
Yeah.
I will say this: the Gotham in this movie looks better than Gotham in all the Nolan movies.
I was going to say, when you were saying that it's dark, but it's well lit.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Yep.
You know, you can make things out. I mean, some of the Batman, like the Dark Knight stuff, is like, I mean, maybe it was done intentionally.
Yeah.
But you can't even separate the street light from the wall, from the sidewalk, dude. Just come on, man.
But I love the look, the whole gothic look, that whole Art Deco or whatever. And I love the Christmas setting. Like, as a kid, you don't realize you see a Christmas tree, but you know, there's a lot of scenes in that plaza with the big tree. That's what's snowing in most scenes. Visually, this movie has held up visually.
Right.
Like, it does not look like a movie that was made in 1992. Right. You know, from a visual standpoint, and back then, you know,
except for Michael Keaton was 13 back then, as opposed to what he is
106.
now. Right.
Yeah. But yeah, it was lit well, and it was made on set. This is obviously not a real location, but I think that having to have all these practical effects, I think, really benefited this movie.
Right.
You know, Catwoman's apartment, that was cool.
That tantrum she threw, though, I'm looking at this, I'm like, really, stuffed bears down the trash compactor? I mean, it's just silly.
Dude,
just silly.
I will defend this. This is a hill I'll die on, Adrian.
What's that?
That scene, Selena Kyle. So we'll go through this a little bit. She works for Max Schreck,
right?
Who's basically like a Donald Trump of Gotham, right?
Sure.
Like that's what they're trying to portray anyway.
Right.
A crooked businessman, and they try to make him kind of, you know, hair a little bit like whatever.
Right.
So anyways, she works for him, and she has to go back to the office to get some files. This dude's building a power plant, but it's actually he's trying to steal all the power, like you know, typical like 90s comic book corruption, right? So anyway, she goes back to the office, but she is just one of the dumbest secretaries ever because she does shit then tells on herself.
Right.
She's like, I went through the encrypted files, like
right. And then she begins to explain what she's doing, what she's seeing, what she thinks about what she's seeing.
Right.
Wow.
I'll tell you what, there was really good chemistry and really good dialogue in this movie.
Sure.
Like that scene, I love that scene with those two. And when she says, you know, it sounds like a great idea, I'd say. And he just goes, well, who would you say that to?
Right.
Like that was just good writing. It was good. And then, you know, she like, well, it's like you could just kill me. He's like, oh, it's a lot like that. And dude, this was a great scene. Pushes her out the window. You know, she falls like 100 stories through all these little things, lands on the ground in an alley.
Did you catch the cat awning she went through?
Yes. Yep. Yeah, that was funny that he, his logo or his whole design is this cat,
right? And
then she's falling through all these cat awnings, hits the ground, and that music starts like it's real eerie. It's not dark, but she's more pale, and it's just a cool looking scene with the snow, the cats. I'll tell you what, bro. As a kid, I was traumatized at that shit because I was like probably 7 years old when this movie came out. I remember watching this on VHS, and dude, that scene, I'm like, I couldn't look away, but I'm like, yo, this is crazy. The cats are biting her fingers. She's bleeding. She's got starts convulsing or whatever, and then from there she goes back to her apartment. She plays the answer machine. It's the same messages or whatever. And then just starts smashing shit. She's pouring the fucking milk, drinking, milk's pouring all over her. Do something about that scene you mentioned when she takes the stuffed animals and stuffs them in like the garbage. Like, I'm like, what are you doing? But it was just something that was off of, like, it just didn't feel right.
Right.
And then she's spraying everything with black
or whatever.
Yeah, black paint. And then of course, like most people in comic book movies, they're great at making clothes.
Oh yeah. Like everybody's a seamstress or a metal fabricator,
right?
Or build warp engines and artificial hearts for unicorns.
Absolutely. Sure. Yeah. In 5 minutes, she made one of the best Catwoman costumes we've ever seen on screen.
Right.
But dude, I absolutely love that scene. It's one of my favorite kind of villain intros in any comic book movie. Dude, that's definitely up there at the top.
And the thing about it is that it was you understood what was going on, and it was quick.
Right.
It wasn't the whole Superman Krypton thing, the whole Alley, Guns, Martha, all that kind of track. Like 5 minutes and it's done.
Yeah.
We got our Catwoman.
Yep. It was awesome. How you feel about the Catwoman look? It's not comic accurate at all. It's a whole new take. But how'd you feel about her look?
I liked it, but it's Tim Burton.
Yeah.
The stitched, decaying face, Frankenstein shit. And he just put that into the costume. So it worked out though. It just so happens that Michelle Pfeiffer at that time was the absolute most beautiful that she was. Yep. And her beauty behind the stitched mask, they both just played so perfectly off of each other.
Yeah. And there were a lot of other actresses in line for that role before Michelle Pfeiffer was picked.
Really?
Yeah, there was one. I forget the name, but she actually got pregnant, so that's why. So they had somebody picked, and then she was pregnant. Okay. She couldn't do it because you ain't fitting in that suit pregnant.
Right.
Dude, I read this. They vacuum sealed the suit, like to her costume. That's how tight they needed it to be, to the point where she couldn't even hear with the thing on because of the vacuum seal. Damn. She also the whole scene with the whip. When she whips the mannequins and whatnot. Right. That's really Michelle Pfeiffer. She learned how to use the whip. Yeah, and then she trained, I think it was kickboxing. She trained with her stunt devil for a handful of weeks prior to the movie and shit. So
very cool.
Yeah, I think after watching that movie again last night, I've always loved her as Catwoman, but I feel like she stole the show in that movie.
Yeah, she definitely, outshined Keaton in this one.
Absolutely. Now, you brought this up last week. We just saw the Penguin.
Yeah.
And prior to Colin Farrell's Penguin, Danny DeVito was the late. Well, we had one in Gotham and stuff, but he was known as like the Penguin, right? How did you feel about watching his performance now after seeing Colin Farrell's?
In my mind, well, first of all, to me, he still holds up. Mm-hmm. That Penguin still holds up. I'm thinking if you're going to have something born disfigured and raised underground by, black and white rats, that's what it's going to look like. That's how he's going to eat, all this other kind of stuff. Now, he was already deformed at birth.
Right.
Like obviously severely deformed.
Yeah.
The whole face. We're still waiting on in the show the Penguin to see how he got disfigured.
Right.
But he was born with the club foot at least. In this version of the Penguin, he was born to the fact the mom screaming, the dad running down the hall, she's screaming, the doctor running out with a mask over.
Bro.
Oh my God! And they just couldn't wait. They kept him alive long enough to get rid of him. That's crazy.
Right.
Feeding him the cat, all kinds of shit, right? But no, the Danny DeVito Penguin, Still iconic.
Yeah.
And in my mind, they are two separate penguins.
Yep.
Right? You got the underground, born in the sewage kind of penguin, and then you got the raised up mobster penguin.
Yeah.
So, but the mob penguin, he's just so much more of a savage than the other one, dude.
Absolutely.
Disgusting.
Yep. Although, I mean, he had some shit too.
Oh, yeah, he had some shit.
At the end, he's like, we're gonna kidnap everybody's, firstborn son and kill them. Like, it was a little bit fucking tapped.
Yeah.
But when you said that last week, I thought, damn, am I gonna watch this and then not be as big on this penguin? But I'm like, I agree with you 100%. It holds up, dude. It's still iconic in its own way. He's got some amazing scenes, dialogue, like a lot of the speeches and shit. He was great in this movie.
Right. I mean, even the makeup was pretty good.
Oh, yeah.
Was very good on that.
Absolutely.
The costume, not so much. Especially at the end when he went face down.
Oh, yeah. When you see his whole body.
It's just,
looks like they
so
stuffed too many pillows in there.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yep. But there's a scene where he's in the, I guess, Max's, like, attic or whatever, where he's now living there. And then Max brings him the fish.
Right.
He's eating. This is another scene as a kid. I'm like, dude, what is this?
Right. That was you almost thought it was a setup.
Yeah.
To embarrass him. He wasn't.
Right.
He still. That was so disgusting. He was sitting there slurping that raw fish, man, coming down the stairs and stuff, and he just rolled right into his sadistic. I want to feel her void. I'm like, come on, dude.
One of the girls said, "You're the best role model a young person can have." He goes, "You're the best young person a role model could have." Like, bro, what is wrong with you?
Yeah.
Maybe on that freaky shit, dude. You on that Diddy.
That's it.
One of our fans said, too much, no more Diddy references. They're getting old, I guess. But that was on some Diddy shit, though, honestly. But anyways, they bring him downstairs. This is where they want him to run for mayor. And the freaking guy with the glasses, he makes some joke. There's not a lot of reflective surfaces down there.
Right.
What I like about this penguin is, even though he's this disfigured guy, this, orphan, this, been raised underground with penguins, he's no dummy.
Right.
He's smart.
Yep.
So in his, he got what he was saying. He's like, okay. And then he goes, yeah, it could be worse. My nose could be bleeding.
Right.
And this guy thinks, oh, you're an idiot. What are you talking about? And then my man proceeds to just jump up and just snap that motherfucker's nose, blood everywhere. Like, dude, that's another scene as a kid. I'm like, what in the hell?
I mean, it was kind of stupid of him to just linger down there.
Correct.
For the full 15 minutes and let him do that. That was dumb.
Yep.
I mean, you sitting there eating fish. Your mouth got to be. Your teeth already are black, right? Right and stuff. I'm not gonna be standing in front of your mouth while you're spitting, fish guts in my face.
Well, you get what you deserve, dude.
That's it.
Yep, exactly. He won't do that shit again.
No.
But yeah, that was a cool scene. What I thought was funny too is he rides around in a duck. Like, why is the penguin riding a duck? What is that?
I don't know. And also, speaking of riding around and stuff, that the Batman in the sewer in that
like plane thing.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then at the end, it goes vertical, comes out of some structure. How did he know where it was going to come out?
Right.
So the math's not working, right? Then it comes and slams down on the duck.
Yes. Here's some math that don't fucking compute for me. Is in the very beginning when they're in the plaza and then they need to call Batman, right? They turn the bat symbol on.
Right.
Bruce Wayne's sitting in his little room by himself, right?
Yeah.
Now, we're not supposed to, nobody knows that Bruce Wayne's Batman, right? But when the bat signal goes off, it shines right into fucking Wayne Manor.
Well, I think it was shining in the sky, and there was something reflective behind him that was showing the thing.
But there were bat symbols at Wayne Manor. That math ain't mathing for me, dude. But that's
well, the other thing, Michael Keaton, right?
Yeah.
So first of all, he walks like doo-doo, doo-doo. He's just like, he walks like his mind and his body is not in the same place at the same time. Number one. Number two, when have you ever seen Bruce Wayne put on glasses?
Never.
But every time this dude reads something, he's got glasses on.
Yep.
Why
was he a dumbass? Bruce ain't a dumbass.
No, not at all.
Why is he such a dumbass?
He
can't even talk straight to Selena.
Right.
Yeah, I do not like his Bruce Wayne.
or the Alfred.
You don't like Alfred?
Nah,
I like the Alfred.
Nah, the Alfred went on about the Penguin for like half the show before he moved on to the next subject and shit. It's like, well, why you are beating up on this guy, but then why are you trying to make this guy Shut up, old man.
Damn. I mean, he's no Michael Caine, but I liked him. But yeah, I don't. Obviously, you're not a fan of his Batman. I don't dislike Keaton's Batman, but it just feels off. Something, That being said, the parts that I did enjoy Michael Keaton in this movie was his dynamic with Selena Kyle.
Sure.
There was good chemistry there.
Well, that was because of her, not because of him.
It takes two to tango.
Exactly. And also, Bruce Wayne's a beautiful dude, man.
Yeah.
This guy is
not.
No. I mean, he's like...
Bro, yeah, Bruce Wayne's chiseled. Yeah, right. He's got the jaw. He looks like a model.
Right. I mean, this guy is... This Bruce Wayne is the Jerry down at the liquor store.
Dude, I saw him at Chili's the other day fucking waiting on our table. Guy looks just like him. So, I mean... but yeah, it was just... And he's a small guy.
Right.
Like, I mean,
put on some on his old man sweater, and sit in front of the fire and cross his legs. Yep. Drink some tea or something. That is not. Yeah, he was not a Bruce Wayne.
Nope. I was not a fan of that. How'd you feel about the bat suit?
It was actually cool, except thick.
Yeah,
especially the cowl.
Right.
You definitely ain't moving your head around.
No, you couldn't move his head at all. Yeah.
So
I like it. It's one of those iconic. Sure. All the black with the yellow symbols. Cool.
Yeah. The ears were just way too tall, dude.
We talk about Ben Affleck's Batman killing people. Bro, my man don't care either though. He's setting dudes on fire and shit. Like what the hell?
Strapped a bomb to him and threw it down the hole.
And laughs what the hell? This is a wacky Batman, bro.
I never knew Batman to have super strength. But he seemed to have pulled a guy from one side of a sidewalk to the next side with one hand. So I don't know about all that.
Man.
And what's with the flipping? What's with the gymnastics and what's with that?
Oh, the clown guy flipping with the baby.
Well, that and even when the opening disruption, people flipping around there, then the clown guy, and then even underground, they're slowly doing cartwheels as they're moving through. Come on, man. What is this, circus?
You talk about the cowl at the end. Dude, I hate this scene when he just rips the cowl off and it's just like rubber, like ripping a sheet of paper out of your notepad. The cowl's that weak. Anyone can just rip the shit off. Well, actually, he's got super strength. You're right.
Yeah,
so
right.
Maybe it's
right.
that bothered me. So looking back, like I said, 7. I think I do enjoy this movie. It's got it's one of those that I think I enjoy more because of what the movie is, not how good it is. If that makes sense.
Yes.
I believe it's a Christmas movie. It is. I think it's better than the first Batman movie. I think that this Catwoman portrayal, although it's not a comic accurate Catwoman, it's very none of this is. The more I watch this, the more it feels like an Elseworlds type of Batman. It's not the comic Batman. It's got a supernatural feel to it almost. Like the whole 9 Lives Catwoman thing, that's not how she's ever been in the comics. Penguin being more of an animal, animalistic type of person. That's not how now after this movie, they kind of made some of those changes in the comics. But so some of those, and that's the Tim Burton, I guess, effect. Right. So for that, it has kind of a special place for me. I like that. It's a different take. I think they did a different take of Batman, but still hit the tone of Batman for the most part.
Right.
The killing stuff's a little silly. The freaking the bombs and all that. The music throughout was phenomenal.
Yeah,
dude.
yeah.
Danny Elfman, as they say, he cooked in this shit, dude.
Yeah. But either way, I'll take Keaton over Val Kilmer and George Clooney. Yeah,
he's definitely the best of these movies.
Right.
And it's too bad that this McDonald's debacle ruined what could have been. Because as much as we're picking out all the shit that we didn't like, but I mean, you gave it a 6, I gave it a 7. That's not bad scores. It would have been nice to see this story continued by Tim Burton and this crew, and not have Joel Schumacher and the campiness return.
Yeah, but maybe we wouldn't have the Batman anything the way we have it today.
Oh, okay.
If these things didn't happen, you know how that shit works.
Yeah, it had to fail for this to succeed. That's when we got my boy Pattinson now. Right. You know, so. But yeah, dude, I watch this movie almost every year, honestly, for Christmas. Yeah. Another thing that
I'd be watching Miracle on 47th Street, and you watching Batman and Iron Man 3 and Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yep, that's how we do it, bro. Dude, I think
dude, you weren't even alive when Purple Rain came out. What's up with that?
I can't do anything about it now, Adrian. You know. Did you like the supernatural feel, the whole 9 Lives shit with Catwoman and the change?
I thought that was silly because of how they executed it at the end with the gun.
Oh yeah, every gun is a life. Yeah. Nah. I like the way she kills Max.
Yeah.
With the
that was
cool. That was cool. And then she finds that in the beginning with the street thug or whatever, where Batman saves her and shit. But yeah, all in all, dude, I do enjoy this movie. Another silly thing, Bruce lives by himself, right? We know his parents are dead. We've seen this shit a million times.
Right.
Why y'all all them gifts under the Christmas tree?
I can't answer that question for you.
And then the fireplace is ridiculous.
The fireplace is almost as tall as he is. Dude.
Yes.
Little man.
For real, dude. That was
little man, little Tate Bruce.
So I guess, ups, what I like about this movie, I like the tone. I like I love the Gotham, the feel, the sound. I love Bruce and Selina's dynamic. I think their chemistry was great. I think that Dan DeVito's Penguin was iconic. I think that, like I said, Catwoman definitely stole the show. The Batmobile was cool. The downs, I think the movie started really strong, had a really good, story going, and then I think the end fell a little flat.
Yeah.
Did you feel that way about the end?
Yeah. Well, I would say my positive, the Batmobile, positive and negative.
Yeah.
It was cool to look at. The math didn't work.
Yeah.
Right. The suit, cool to look at. The math didn't work. Somehow this super strength came out. Even though he's a dork.
Right.
He's too tiny of a character to play Bruce Wayne or Batman. Right. Because Batman is really, when you put him and Superman next to each other, I mean, Superman is a little bigger, but not much.
Yeah.
Depending on who draws them. But typically, they're about the same height, even if Bruce is not taller than Superman, right? So he's a formidable, impressive figure to look at. And Michael Keaton is not, right?
Right.
He's not he's not charismatic as you would think that a Bruce Wayne is.
No.
He kind of stumbles over himself even when he is alone.
Yep.
Bruce Wayne never wore glasses, things like that. Danny DeVito's Penguin, iconic, like you said. I mean, he did an excellent job with that. Costume, not so much. The silliness of it with the Penguins always around. They had like a marching thing.
The damn rockets at the end. Come on.
Yeah, all that bullshit. And then they was like lined up. It was like they paraded his body into the water kind of a deal. That was silly. All the flipping, the circus acts. It was just a lot of movement for nothing. I didn't like but Michelle Pfeiffer as Catwoman, spot on, right? And like I said, I love the chemistry, and I think the chemistry was mostly her making that happen. What else? Even the cringy stuff, the cat's eating, her fingers, the fall from the window, the penguin playing the crazy, the questionable uncle down the hall. I mean, just a lot. It was a lot of good and bad. Mostly good. Well, a lot of good. Just a little silly math things. Just kind of took away from it.
Yeah. We didn't talk about this. We talked about their chemistry, the two of them, but also when they find out that they're both, have this dual identity. They're at the I think they start to pick up on it when they're at Bruce's house, and they're making out, and then she feels the spot where she touches the spot that she stabbed, sliced him with her fucking claws, and then he finds a spot where he napalms her, and I think they're like very suspicious, but they don't know for sure. Like, could be a crazy coincidence. Then when they're at the party and they're dancing, and I forget, they talk about the mistletoe. He says the same thing that Catwoman said to Batman when they were under the mistletoe. And then they realize, like, oh, shit. And I love it. She's like, are we supposed to start fighting now? But it's like those are things that they feel Batman. Like, we've seen interactions like that with Bruce and Selina in the comics, right? So I think that was probably one of the biggest highlights was their dynamic, Catwoman. But yeah, all in all, dude, great Christmas movie.
Yeah.
DC's Christmas classic, Batman Returns. I'm going to coin that. I'm going to name it that.
There you go.
I did something a little special, Adrian. So
What's that?
we wrap up with Agree to Disagree, but I figured we would do a little bonus round of Agree to Disagree Batman Returns edition. Okay. So I did some homework, okay? So I'm going to rapid fire. I got 10 of my opinions about Batman Returns here, and I'm going to shoot them over at you, and you're going to let me know if you agree or not.
Let's do it.
All right. Number 1, Batman Returns was better than Batman 89.
Agree.
Okay. Batman Returns is better than The Dark Knight Rises.
Disagree.
Michelle Pfeiffer outshined Michael Keaton in this movie.
Agree.
Michelle Pfeiffer's Catwoman was better than Jack Nicholson's Joker.
There's a hotness factor, so that's not even fair.
Are you saying Jack Nicholson wasn't hot?
No, he was not hot at all. Yeah. I agree with that.
Okay. Danny DeVito's Penguin is just as good as Colin Farrell's.
Dude, these are hard this week.
These are hard, though.
But they're as good for their own reasons.
Okay.
I won't say as good, but I will do this because I have this first factor.
Okay.
Danny DeVito was the first Penguin.
Yeah.
So I'll say agree because he was the first and the most iconic.
Okay. Michael Keaton was a better Batman than he was a Bruce Wayne.
That's a double negative.
Damn. Right. He was a better Beetlejuice than Batman.
Yes, I agree.
Batman should not be depicted as a killer in movies.
He should not.
Batman Returns should be on everyone's Christmas movie watch list.
I disagree.
And The Batman is better than Batman Returns.
I do agree with that.
There we go. Well, that is our bonus Agree to Disagree. Let us know if you guys, how do you feel about Batman Returns? Is it on your Christmas list like it is mine, and it's not on Adrian's, and he doesn't think it should be on yours, but I do. So we're at a crossroads. We need you guys to decide. So let us know. Up next, we got everybody's favorite segment, Adrian. We Respond.
Hold on before you go to that.
Right.
I didn't say it shouldn't be on everyone's.
You said disagree.
You said it should be on
everyone's Christmas movie watch list.
I said no.
Yeah, you disagree.
Okay, so I did say that. It should not be on yours. Yes.
You just want to tell them again.
You felt that?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, let me reiterate. Don't fucking watch the movie. You know, no, you should watch it. It's great. But this is one. I mean, I'm always interested in what y'all have to say. Good, bad, indifferent, stupid shit, whatever. You know. And speaking of, we're gonna get into a little We Respond here, Adrian.
Let's do it.
So, World at War Comics. This is another comic account on YouTube. They're good. They got 9,000 subscribers. I checked them out. I'm actually interested in what you're doing from an interview standpoint. We talk about that offline. But anyways, he says, I agree with James. We do not need origin stories. We just need good storytelling. Great show. First time hearing. Just subscribe. Thank you. Look at that.
Nice.
So, our boy John Bon Von. That's hard to say, you know, when you say it really fast like that, Adrian. But anyways, he says...
Is it like Werner?
Huh?
Is that like Werner?
Werner?
Von? Yeah, that.
Maybe.
I don't know.
Got me lost.
Who's your dialect coach? The Minions?
Maybe. But anyways, John
Werner the Rocket Dude.
John Bon Jovi?
Nah, that's the guitar dude.
That is the guitar, yeah. Anyways, John Bon Von says, born in 87, and my first comics that I got and loved was Sonic the Hedgehog from the 90s. Why? I need to know who the hell got you into Sonic first, dude.
Man, why are you gonna crush them?
No, I'm not. These are our boys, Sean Bon.
That's his first.
Yeah, I'm
his first
curious,
love, man.
dude. I want to know, like, were there no other comics where, like, how did that happen?
That is weird, though.
It is weird, right?
It's like, you know,
I didn't even know Sonic had comics.
I didn't either.
I was
thinking that's not even a comic.
Nope. And I never had Sega. I was a Nintendo guy, so I never really played Sonic.
I was ping pong.
Ping pong?
Ping pong. That's all it was, dude.
Damn. What was that, like Atari?
Yes.
Okay. Well, John Bon, yeah, let us know, dude. Why did that happen? I'm sorry that was your first, dude. But you stuck through. And now you're watching better comic content like us.
Exactly.
All right. A. Josh Strickland, he's back. A. Josh Strickland says, I guess I should just change my name to Bro-Man because you've changed my perspective on the fake naked Mystique. Remember last week he said yeah. So you don't have to change your name to Bro-Man, dude. Bro-Man's Bro-Man. You just got to listen to us more. That's all. You know? He says, I guess I needed to hear it out loud. So my first 2 comic book characters were like Superman for Adrian. Didn't even know Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle and Batman were comics when I heard of them, and the Ninja Turtles got me thinking, what's your top 5 superhero groups, and how high, he's got jokes, how high do the Eternals rank?
And I thought my jokes were bad.
Yeah. Can't wait for Court of Owls, just got my copy. So there's a lot here from A-Josh. Right. So we're going to do Court of Owls next week?
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll get through that this week, read that next week, so that's coming. We changed his mind on the fake naked Mystique, so good on that. But your top 5 superhero groups, I don't know, are they top? I mean, X-Men's got to be up there.
X-Men,
Fantastic
Alpha Flight,
Four. Yeah, Alpha Flight.
Fantastic Four, Avengers,
Eternals.
No.
Oh, Justice League?
No. No.
Damn.
No, there's one more.
Yep.
But obviously heavy on the Marvel side.
Yeah.
I don't know. You go.
All right.
I did 4.
You got 4. Okay. Yeah. We're not going to follow the rules. You know? So X-Men is probably number 1.
Yep.
Avengers, Fantastic Four is easy. Who else would I go from there? I do think that now, seeing in the MCU, Guardians, they're up there. And God, that is hard. Another super group, because I agree. I wouldn't put Justice League on mine either. No. I mean, does the Bat Family count? Is that a super group? No, can't call that.
I put the Titans before I put the Justice League.
That's a good one. Yeah, Titans.
Actually, that would be my number 5 because I like that dynamic.
Yeah.
You know, actually, out of the Titans, the 2 biggest ones for me were, even though Raven is the more powerful, the 2 bigger ones for me was Cyborg and Sunfire. Those are my 2 favorites out of that group. Yep. So I'll say the Titans because they had a lot of, Starfire. They had a lot of interaction, like with Deathstroke, Terra, that whole saga that was crushing. Some ice sweat on that one. So really a really dynamic group. So I would put Titans number 5 for me.
Yeah, I don't throw no flag on that, dude. I think the Titans definitely picked them over freaking Justice League. Yeah. Fucking Superman and those clowns. You know what's funny is I'm bullshit. There's people that get hot, dude. You don't say that about the Justice League. Like, bro, chill. As my 8-year-old says, chill down.
Right.
Chill down.
Justice League, they go from a couple of people to they got the whole satellite and rotations and people doing spaceship training.
Right.
It just gets ridiculous fast.
Yes. Now he said superhero groups, but if you had villain groups, I'd throw the Brotherhood of Mutants in there. You know, you got Magneto.
I put the Legion of Doom in there.
Yeah.
Old school.
Yep. There you go. So, well, that's good. Thanks for checking in, AJOS. Never Fail 032 says, or he asks, Daredevil and Hawkeye versus Batman and Green Arrow in the jungle, no vehicles or outside help. Who's winning?
Batman and anybody.
Yeah.
Or Batman and alone.
Right. Now, all right, Batman, Daredevil straight up. Batman wins?
Batman, yeah.
Yeah? No prep time? No. Okay. I'm down with that. There's people online that, Daredevil's kind of got powers and all this shit, but I just think Batman's too, I think people forget how peak of a martial artist Batman is.
Right.
He knows, not all of them, but he knows a lot of different martial arts techniques, and he's literally top tier in all of them.
Yep.
He's peak human. And that's why you fucking Michael Keaton, you're like, what? This guy's going to screw up my order at Applebee's.
Right, exactly.
But anyways, so yeah, I agree. But yeah, Batman and Green Arrow. I mean, Green Arrow and Hawkeye pretty much cancel each other out, right?
Exactly.
I mean, isn't Hawkeye just a purple Green Arrow?
Yes.
Sons of Sekma is back. He says, love the podcast. I'm recovering from Monday, and this is my medicine. We're medicine, dude.
What?
Yes.
I like that. Read that again.
Absolutely. Yes. We are his medicine, he says. So such a great team. Talk about chemistry. Such a great team. Mike's charisma, Adrian's encyclopedic knowledge. Let
this man cook.
Let him cook, dude. Keep cooking. He says that I was thinking about a name for us. Oh, okay. So, a name for the fans.
Okay.
He says, I thought about The Flock. Fans loving only comics, K. Then I thought.
Well, you can drop the K.
Yeah, you can
just leave the C.
Flock. Yeah. I mean, that's in the run. I think what we're going to do, because there's some other suggestions, y'all keep these coming, and then you guys can just vote on them. I mean, it's you that we're going to be calling this, so have at it. But I do like that. I think we're getting somewhere.
Yeah.
I don't know if that one's it, Sons of Sekmat, but I like where you're going, bro. He mentions, and I thought of us more like the Brood. So the Brood was a wrestling group from the 90s, like late 90s, early 2000s. He said, Mike is Gangrel, and we are the Brood from back in the day. So the Brood, dude, there was this wrestling group where their characters were like almost demonic. Like Gangrel had fangs like a vampire.
Right.
And they came out to this awesome music. And their entrance, so back in this era, the wrestlers came down from a stage, and there was a ramp that brought them down to the ring. Similar to the setup now, but it was much higher.
Okay.
So there was an underneath section where they could, have wrestlers pop out or whatever. So the Brood would come out, they opened up the stage, and they would have a ring of fire, and the lights would go dark, and these guys would come up on a fucking elevator. And these guys would have like the glasses on. They look like vampires, like the Lost Boys. Remember that movie?
Right. Yep.
It was on some shit like that. And then they would do bloodbaths. So they'd jump some guy, beat him up, and then from somewhere up in the arena they'd drop a bunch of red liquid on him and cover. Dude, it was sick shit. It was cool. So I don't know if we should be the Brood, but anyways, what does that have to do with this? Nothing. But that's the other stuff, because this is Only Comics, Adrian. We discuss comics and only comics.
Yeah, that's not even true anymore.
Nope. Plank the Tank. He's a blast from the past. Another great bit of fun. Again, guys, so much stuff talked about today, and some wrestling too. So he says, I love it. Great hidden gem from Adrian. Really interesting this week. Great deep dive on Iron Man 3. Thank you. Love the film more every time I watch it. I think I agree with that.
Yeah.
Are you guys, as you guys were talking about War Machine, before the MCU, I preferred him over Iron Man. That's interesting. I think that he's the best sidekick in comics. So question, who are your top 5 sidekicks? He gives us his: War Machine, Robin, Dick Grayson version, Miles Morales, Wally West, and Bucky. So top 5 sidekicks. That's a good list. I would definitely have Robin in there. I almost would have 2 Robins in there, honestly.
Right.
I'd have Dick Grayson and Damian.
I'd go with Damian.
Damian over Dick. Yeah. Okay.
I mean, Robin, Grayson is the classic.
Yep.
But Damian is definitely the better of the 2, I think. Now, I think, and I say that because Damian is a better Robin than Grayson, because Grayson, I think, was kind of nerfed by Bruce / Batman.
Okay.
When he became Nightwing, that's the better version of him.
Yes, I agree with that. I think what I liked about Grayson as Robin is he wasn't afraid to challenge Batman. Now, to your point, though, even more as Nightwing.
Right.
But he wasn't just like, he wasn't he wasn't Batman's slave. He was his sidekick.
Right.
Like, he didn't just do whatever he said. He actually, he challenged him. He'd question things. Now, Damian, on a whole nother level,
right.
Question him. He would just straight up tell him, you're fucking wrong, dude. You're an idiot. Those 2, who else would you have? Would War Machine be up there for you?
No. I don't really think about sidekicks like that.
Yeah, who else is there? I mean, Bucky, I think he was better once he wasn't a sidekick,
Right. I mean, again, I don't really look at these people like sidekicks.
Yeah.
I would have never thought of Bucky as a sidekick.
Okay. And I don't know that I would think of Miles as a sidekick either.
Morales?
Yeah. He's his own Spider-Man.
Yeah, he's his own Spider-Man.
If anything, Peter's about to be his sidekick, you know? I have to do some digging on this Plank the Tank, because the only one that really comes out is Robin.
Yeah.
I mean, Spider-Man didn't have sidekicks. I mean, Iron Man, I don't even know if I'd consider War Machine a real sidekick either. I don't know. You know what? Again, though, we've said this before. We're not experts. We're only fans.
You might be.
Well, we're just fans. Broman Williams. Broman's back. What's up, Mike and Adrian? What's up, Broman? He says, Mike, I did watch Survivor Series, and you nailed the review accurately. Thank you. Although we absolutely love the comic stuff, I think it's time to admit that we love the other stuff as well. Yo, Broman's on it.
That's it.
It can go in any direction. The unpredictability is awesome. Well, we saw a sneaker reveal today. Dude.
Right.
Hey, do it again. Watch how quick this is.
Oh, my God.
There it is. There's a sneaker. You don't need to see the box. There it is. Look at it. Better than all the other stupid when they build all wait. What do you need to wait? Just show it real quick and put it back on, dude. Anyway,
dude, you like Fist, man. You're a big dude, but you move quick,
dude.
Man.
That's what I do, bro. That's what I do. So he says it's time to admit. So yes, he admitted that, and he says it brings edge to the show, and he gives us some, some little flexing arms there. So, bro, man, dude, you get another one of these. Arm Stew's back, dude. Now we know it's Armani is his name. Right. It's not Arm Stew like I forgot to put deodorant on Arm Stew. That's what when I used to pick up my son from basketball practice.
Right.
Like, boys at that, it smells like some Arm Stew in that gym.
That's some arm soup.
Yeah. Yep. And then there's probably swamp ass going on too. That's a whole nother thing. But anyways, Armani over here says, I seen someone on TikTok say Wonder Woman would beat Supergirl in a fight 7 out of 10 times. That's real specific. I didn't know Wonder Woman was that strong. I'm someone who's not that deep into comic book characters, so can you guys confirm that? I think that's right.
Wonder Woman would beat Supergirl 7 out of 10 times.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, she'll beat Superman 7 out of 10 times.
Because people forget that she was born to be a warrior. Mm-hmm. Everything that she did every day was trained to be a warrior. Not only that, she killed Ares, the god of war, took his power, one of which was to command the army of the dead in hell. She even has some resurrection stuff going on.
Yes.
So, yeah. And Supergirl, just like Superman, that's why Batman can toss Superman around. Supergirl is just strength.
Yes.
Right? And they also got that, let's not kill people thing. Mm-hmm. Well, Supergirl kind of like moves past that sometimes. Okay. But the point is, their strength is their strength and speed. Wonder Woman's strength is everything about her. She is a weapon. She has been trained from birth to be absolute savage. Yep. Absolute savage.
You know, people there's a handful of fans that glaze the Snyder Cut. Mm-hmm. One of the good things about that movie is the portrayal of Wonder Woman. Mm-hmm. She's a badass in that movie. Right. I love that music, the theme she has, and all that stuff. It's a little too much slow mo at times, but
that's okay.
That is okay.
Well, you got to slow it down so you can see what she is doing.
Exactly. Yep. But Superman, you know what his mom's name is? Martha. I didn't know if you knew that or not.
I wasn't sure.
You were sure?
I paused there for a minute.
Okay. Philip Wilkins says, I watched the animated movie Teen Titans versus Justice League this week. Have you seen that? It's an older one. No, it's a really good one.
Yeah.
He says, I don't know if you've seen it. You don't know because we haven't talked about it. But now you know. I've seen it. Adrian hasn't. Basically, Bruce sends Damian to join the Titans is how it starts. And obviously, you send him over there. God knows what's going to happen.
Exactly. Well, he's going to take over.
Absolutely.
Probably.
Yep. And tell everyone why they're stupid while he's doing it and while he's beating their asses, all of them. It says, it's got me thinking that Deathstroke plans/rumors they might end up having a Teen Titans movie show with Damian on a team to get Deathstroke as the villain. I like that, dude.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah.
Because quite frankly, hand to hand, I mean, Dick would have probably a good chance to get Deathstroke, but Damian is a Deathstroke level. Mm-hmm. Being trained by his grandfather, Ra's al Ghul, Damian will kill him.
Yeah, absolutely.
That kind of a thing. Dick would probably just want to knock him out or something like that. So he's going to be holding back, even though he's probably the more seasoned, experienced fighter.
Yep.
But Damian is a brutal fighter.
Right. Then he says, on another note, I feel Tim Drake doesn't get enough credit and is just in the shadow of Dick, Jason, and Damian, as he should be.
Right.
Maybe a hidden gem idea is Tim Drake. You guys can rack it up. Yeah, here's a hidden gem. He's a wannabe Dick Ray. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah. But I'm not big on Tim Drake, dude. No. I'm not. So, you know what? He's not going to get a lot of love here, Philip. I was with you in the first half. You lost me in the second half, but we still appreciate you. So you get that and that. So it balances itself out. You know? Yeah, dude. I'm sorry, Phil. It hurt me to do it, Adrian. Do you agree or disagree? Is that true or false?
No, not at all.
But we still love you, Philip. Michael Navarro, he's a blast from the past as well. Karate Kid may know karate, but Ben Affleck Batman know crazy.
Yeah.
Yes,
true statement.
That's true. Yep. Iffy SA, our friend from South Africa, says, comics, movies, entertainment, scoops, and now WWE, it's like I got Only Comics premium subscription tailored to my interest. I had a tough weekend, to be honest, and this episode was, he says, chef's kiss.
Nice.
So, I'm sorry you had a tough weekend, but it's going to get better.
Absolutely.
It'll be fine. War Games was 1 in the morning on his side because, time difference, because the Earth's not flat, so it's like there's different time zones and shit like that.
Imagine that.
Yeah, it's crazy, dude. You learn shit here, dude.
Right?
It's shit. He said, I fell asleep after Gunther retained, missed the main event. Well, Iffy, you should go back and watch it, but we appreciate y'all checking in from South Africa. We still haven't seen, you asked if anyone was from Scotland. We've not seen a Scottish mate yet.
That's okay.
So they got to be out there somewhere.
They coming.
Absolutely. Maybe Iffy from South Africa can find someone in Scotland. They're not close, but they're just both not in the US, so
that'll be a stretch. But
yeah,
that's
it's not going to work. All right, so I'll give myself one. Buster Barnes. Buster, he says, everyone moaning we haven't got a Superman trailer yet, but no one cares that we haven't got anything regarding Jurassic World or Fantastic Four. Oh, he's calling us on our hypocrisy, Adrian. So, well, let me start. I don't give a fuck about Jurassic World.
Right.
I actually couldn't care less about that movie. Right. But I think you're onto something, Buster. It's time for a Fantastic Four trailer.
Yeah.
It is.
Considering how close it is, yeah.
Yeah. Considering they're finding the damn lost sets and all this shit, like, yeah, maybe it's time to. Now, with Fantastic Four, it's a little different because they did play a trailer at a Comic-Con recently, and that leaked. And that's where we saw some of these photos of Galactus. I've not watched it because I don't like watching shit like that. It looks like you bought off the street in New York. Like those days, I used to do that, but I no longer buy my movies from the barbershop. I don't do that anymore. I used to. But I'm too old for that, dude. I can't. I've said I'm too old to watch.
You've matured.
I have, yeah. I'm not watching shit when fucking Tito's getting up to get popcorn and fucking Kelly's over there on the phone. I don't want to see that. So, but yeah, I agree. We do need the Fantastic Four. Part of me, I'm hesitant though, because it's like I want to like this movie because it's Fantastic Four, and it they will play a big role in the rest of this multiverse saga. But just based off of how. I'd say they've been on a little streak lately, but Marvel's been hit or miss. I'm nervous about them screwing that up, so almost like don't even want to see it yet.
Well, it's almost because they're like 3-0 right now, and if this one bomb, you'll probably never see the Fantastic Four again, dude.
Correct.
Because it's like, come on, I mean, nobody can correct this shit,
right?
Yep. So it's kind of like you want to see it, but you're afraid to see it.
Yeah, so you don't want to look, dude. Right. But Never Fail 032 says, thank God it's Monday. Yes.
Nice.
Dark Side Raider CBFC. That's kind of long, dude. He says, let's fucking go. Best day of the week. Yes. Delone. Oh, he's our boy from the past, too. Delono Baker. What's good, y'all? Great show as always. I never responded to my comment y'all answered for me a few episodes ago. Yeah, so you're late, dude. Where you been? Oh, he asked about independent comics. And he says, I don't have one in particular, but I did start one called Low that was recommended. I'm on 4 books in, so it's so good. But I have a question for you guys. I'm an artist who paints comic book and anime characters over newspaper. Check me out, LOL. Well, dude, so give me a link. I'll check you out. And I have a John Stewart Green Lantern piece that everyone seems to love. I always tell people my favorite and the best Green Lantern, and a lot of people seem to agree. Want to know if you guys agree or have a different opinion. Thanks again for the amazing content. Is John Stewart the best Green Lantern?
Yes.
Yes. There you have it.
Now, Hal Jordan is the most iconic.
Yeah.
And according to the little bald head dudes, he's the greatest Lantern of all time.
Okay.
But no, John Stewart is my favorite.
Okay.
Now, there is this Blue Lantern dude. He's pretty cool too.
Yeah.
So, but but unfortunately, the Green Lanterns are kind of like the least powerful of all the lanterns. Mm-hmm. Like the Black Lanterns can like raise the dead. You got Sinestro who can cancel the green. The blue enhances the green. I mean, you got all this shit going on. You got the Sapphire. It's crazy.
Damn.
Just can't stick to one.
No.
You got to go and do all this other shit.
OG Dirte. So he's Dirte. Luke Cage is Daredevil Superman. I don't even know what that means. Luke Cage is Daredevil Superman. Now, Luke Cage is strong. He's
definitely not Superman.
No. And where's the Daredevil? Daredevil's blind. Luke Cage is not. You're going to have to explain that one.
Yeah, you definitely got to.
Until then.
Well, typically when you have something like that, you have like a Daredevil equivalent to somebody, and then a Luke Cage equivalent to Superman, right?
Yeah, I don't know where you're going.
So
I
don't Please
know.
explain that.
OG, that's a little dirty. Crocto Pussart. Whoa.
Language.
Jesus. Test screenings always feel like a double-edged sword. I heard so many horror stories where executives show a movie to a wrong type of audience, so they freak out, and then the negative reactions come. This is a good point. So we talked about the Captain America movie going through all these, I think they're up to 37 test screenings now. So give or take. I don't know the math.
Well, we was just talking about the Batman going screening, for the 6-year-olds in the McDonald's things, right?
Yeah.
So wrong crowd.
Right. But he's saying, is it a double-edged sword? Because let's say you have a great movie, but you show it to the wrong audience and they don't like it, and then you change things that were good about it, and now you screw it up.
Right.
So I'm almost, we were talking earlier about how Kraven released the first 8 minutes of the movie online. I'd almost, instead of y'all doing test screenings, release test footage, little bits and pieces. Do it on social media, and do it from your Marvel account. Like, give us 2 minutes of something and see how everybody reacts versus these groups that you're putting together that may not be the right audience,
So why are there 50-year-old assholes?
I don't know.
Okay. Because nobody's corrected them early on.
Oh, yes.
Right. So it's not because they've bullied their way through life. Mm-hmm. Nobody has beat their ass at an early age. It's like, dude, you got to stop being an asshole. Right.
Yep.
So directors, I think they should just make the movie. Now, it's cool to release 5 minutes, 8 minutes, but release it. But whatever you got, just release it. If it's messed up, correct it in the next movie.
Okay.
You release something, and the public will correct you, and then you do better the next time. Yep. Stop doing all this fidgeting and fucking around with the marketing, and because you're always gonna have somebody wrong in a group and somebody right in a group.
Right.
Just release it, and the people that like the show, like the characters, like the storyline, they're going to like it.
Yeah.
But if it's an overall bomb, guess what you get to do next time? Do another movie. Make it better.
Now, I hear that, but sometimes they may only have one shot. They screw up this Fantastic Four, they ain't going to get a chance to do a sequel, most likely.
Well, maybe they shouldn't.
There you go. That's the
answer. because quite frankly, every one of the Fantastic Fours, they were off the characters in the comics.
Yeah.
From my perspective.
Yeah, I agree with that. But I just think in the day and age we live where it's almost like, we talked about wrestling a lot the other day or last week. And there was a time where people believed that wrestling was, they're really fighting each other, right?
What you talking about, Willis?
No, there was a time, dude, when pro wrestling, people thought like, these guys are really fighting. And I promise you, dude. I promise you. But
dude,
now,
when I first saw wrestling, I was like, this is not, there's no way that you can get away with, you can walk. They got hurt.
Sure.
But there's no way you can do these jumping out of the ceiling.
Yeah. But I'm talking like Bruno Sammartino days, like where the matches were literally like guys wrestling around. You may see a couple punches and someone gets slammed. Like people thought like, oh, they're legit wrestling. And they also kept up that facade. Nowadays, everybody knows the deal. Like the jig is up. They know how it works. They know how the matches are, they're planned, whatever. They're predetermined. They know the ins and outs, right? So they know we've been pulled behind the curtain. So why I bring that up is with this whole test screening thing, we've been pulled so far behind the curtain. We know that these are movies y'all are trying to figure out. We know you guys don't have it figured out.
Right.
So give us a little sample and take everyone's feedback because online will tell you what's good and what's not, and then go make your movie. I'm a big fan of fuck the test screening. This is my new idea today, Adrian. Release footage. I was inspired by the Kraven footage. Release shit to us. Let us tell you if it's bad or good, and then go finish the movie.
So, like in the automotive world, you have a prototype.
Yep.
You build a scale model. You put it in front of some people. They be like that, and then you go back and do some tweaking. But ultimately, you come out with this production model.
Yep.
So, like Ryan Reynolds did with the first Deadpool, you make like a short film. And this is the route I would go. Make a short film.
Yeah.
Release that shit.
There you go.
Right? Get some feedback and then tweak and then release.
Absolutely.
Don't keep tweaking up until
yes.
But so that feedback from that prototype should give you enough of what you need in order to go forward and make a movie.
Dude, we learned like that with Deadpool. Deadpool. You mentioned the Ryan Reynolds. It was a whole scene.
Right.
And then they did take that scene and changed it somewhat and still included a lot of it in the movie.
Right.
But that was one scene. It was maybe 10 minutes.
Right.
The movie's like 2 hours long. We should before we go green light a movie, like, let's make a Mole Man movie now. Like, why don't y'all shoot a couple scenes, put it out, test the water. So that's my pitch to Hollywood.
There
Kevin,
you go.
Guys, get them on. I've been asking these guys for weeks. What the fuck do they do in there, Adrian?
I don't know.
Nothing.
Anyway,
Spider-Man 3 zeros and 2 4, whatever. He's not. I don't think he's the real Spider-Man. 00024. Probably not. But anyways, he says Marvel.
Are those Earths?
Maybe. Marvel has teased Mr. Sinister. Please put him in a movie, not one of his own, but on an X-Men. Yeah, bring Sinister out, dude.
But that dude is so evil, man. You just gotta do him right, though.
You do.
You gotta do him right. Get who was it? Matt Reeves.
Yeah.
The Penguin.
Yes.
Get him to do
there you
Sinister.
Go. Let him cook. DJ time is near. Okay. If you're an adult watching a kids movie like Moana or Lion King, etc., shut up and let the kids and their families sing to the movie, man. No one's gonna be singing. Nope. You know what? If we go in the movie and my son's singing, I'm gonna chop him right in the throat. No, I'm just kidding. But no, we don't need any singing in the damn movie theater. Shut up and watch the movie.
Yeah.
Viper Venom 47. Wow, didn't know you talk about WWE. Hope you do it more next year. Well, yeah, of course, dude. More coming. Green Man 11. Usually agree with you guys, but Iron Man 2 is top tier. The fuck did he just say? It's probably the best Marvel sequel. Better than Guardians 2, Thor 2, and another other characters. What? Dude, your fucking grammar's fucking me up too. Holy shit. I'm not gonna hit the Minions one because I always do that. But anyways, now you're an Iron Man fan.
Yep.
But he says Iron Man 2 is top tier. What do you say to that?
I like the Iron Man flicks.
Yeah.
To me, top tier was the first one.
Yes.
If again, that whole first thing.
Correct.
And
it was
the
a
rest
much
of
better
it was
movie.
good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think that Iron Man 2 is the weakest one. And we did 3 last week.
Right.
I think 3 is better than 2.
Yeah.
But he says it's better than almost every other Marvel sequel. I would say that Spider-Man Far From Home is better than Iron Man 2. You know what? Hey, don't answer that. We're going to ask you.
But that's his opinion.
It is. And it's I'm just kidding, Green Man. You keep watching Iron Man 2, bro. Isaiah 5:12 says saying Iron Man 3 is better than Zack Snyder's Justice League is crazy. No, it's not, because it's true. Charismatic 3, name the fan base fans of Adrian and Mike. The fam.
Okay.
That's not bad. That's you know what?
We're getting closer.
We're getting closer, dude. We'll add that to the list. Fatty Bucha 1080. Okay, Fatty. They should have one theater for singing and another for people who just want to see it.
It's called their living room.
Yes, there you go, Adrian. RC Rala says, you guys watch wrestling too? Can I hate you guys even more? So I respond, I'm like, you hate us? Bro, this is crazy. He says, I asked him, you hate us? He says, very much. I never agree with you guys. Yet I'm still here. Here's the best part. Yet I'm still here listening. Still following. I hate to love you guys. Respect to both. I don't even know what in the bipolar is going on here, dude. Holy sh! You've been watching Joker too much or something. You're all over the place, dude. I don't even know what to say to that.
He's saying he loves to hate us, Mike.
Yeah, yep. I hate to love you. He loves to hate us. He hates to love. I don't.
Oh, my God.
All right. Well, you know what? R.C. Rallis, we love to hate you too. The Deliverits. Okay. That's too high rating. 2 with T-O. So I figured I would bring my man Deliverits under the learning tree, Adrian. So there, the English language is a little complicated.
Right.
But the word two has several meanings, right?
It does.
There's 2 of us right here, right? But the way I would spell that would be T-W-O, right? And if I were to
the numeral 2 works too.
that too, yep. Now, if I was to give this to you, that would be how my man spelled it here, T-O. He says that's too high. I think you're just too high. So in this setting, it would be a 00, a double O. Right. T-O-O. So there you go. You wait till we get to there. That's going to be fun. But anyways, there you go. I won't charge you for that one. Classic Eric Martin as opposed to regular Eric Martin. All right.
You know what a word that you don't even have to change the spelling of that has many meanings?
What's that?
Shit.
Yes.
I'm just saying.
Language.
Classic Eric Martin. He's the classic one. I'm finally going to see Gladiator 2 tomorrow, and I plan on singing. Now, I've not seen this movie. Wow. Is there any singing involved, Adrian? You've seen this, right?
No. There's no singing involved.
Okay. You know what? You're not classic. Nope. TJ901. I'm just getting back into wrestling from the late 90s, early 2000s. I like Braun Breaker's character. Yeah, Braun's cool. Bryant Y78, please do more wrestling content. Yes, we're on it.
Wow.
Dude. Yeah, we're on it. Craig Jr. says, Women's War Game was so trash, so was the crowd. I think the War Games match was good. The crowd was a little mid. So one of the big aspects of wrestling is the crowd and how good they are, how loud they are, how they interact. Because it is a show. It's like a play.
Right.
You're in the crowd. You're supposed to know that this is the good guy. That's the bad guy. Let's cheer for that one. Let's boo that one. And the crowd can make or break a show. Kind of like we're talking about chemistry with movies.
Yeah.
You can have an average match, but the crowd be so into it, and it just brings it to the next level as a viewership. So I agree with that. I think the crowd was mid, dude. Shad Grim Gravy, I wouldn't watch that Captain Falcon movie if it was playing in my backyard. I wouldn't watch if it was playing in your backyard either, but I will watch it in the theater, though. Yeah. J. Mike 0406, didn't Franklin Richards become Kang? No. Nathaniel Richards is Kang. But, dude, it's some weird, and I left this in here because I wanted to ask you, Nathaniel Richards is a descendant of Reed Richards' father in a different universe. So he's not Reed's brother, but they have the same father, but it's in a different universe. That's how I understand it. Is that right?
I am not sure.
Okay. At least when I read it, that was my interpretation of it. So we're going to go with that's exactly how it is. Dirty Steve 40. Oh, dirty. Easy. The women's cage was crazy. I took my boy last week to his first Raw and my first Raw, and let me tell you, it was freaking awesome. It was a huge surprise to have Solo versus Cody in the last match. Dude, I will say I've been to dozens of WWE live events. They are phenomenal. Yeah. They are from – I think it's something that even someone who's not a fan of the sport would enjoy. Is they're just entertaining, and it's something really cool to see live. Like, it's planned. It's just dude, but they have to execute live in front of 20 to 50 to 100,000 people. Right. There's no redo. There's no I screwed that up. Come do it again. Right. So it's and they're just a good time. They know how to entertain an audience. The Dark Knight 666. Chill, dude. Would this be a Hulk movie or a Wolverine movie? The Hulk versus Wolverine, I would prefer a Wolverine movie. And Hulk is not necessarily the villain, but like you talked about, he's in Canada. They bring Wolverine in to come take care of this guy. I would prefer that.
How about the Hulk and Wolverine?
Well, whose movie would it be, though?
I was just playing off the Deadpool and Wolverine thing.
But I would say Deadpool Wolverine was a Deadpool movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wolverine was a guest. I would say this would be a Wolverine. It would be a Wolverine movie with Hulk as a guest.
I prefer that. Yeah. Freak with a PH. Freak 233 says Battinson as Beyonder is terrible. Who needs an emo worldbender? We already have Wanda. Dude, I think people just can't separate the actor from the role. Like, he's not an emo person.
That's his fault, though.
Okay.
That's his fault.
Why? Because but he's played other roles. Just not in main movies, not in mainstream. He went independent for a while.
That's his fault.
Okay.
Shia LaBeouf went independent too.
So you're on freak side here. Alan Graves 007, fight wouldn't last 3 minutes. Hulk either rips Wolverine in half or just throws him into space.
True.
Okay. Real Original says, I follow y'all on TikTok and YouTube. Good. Everyone else should too. Because we got like 70,000 people on TikTok and like 3,000 on YouTube. How about y'all go over there too? You know, shit.
All right.
Brooklyn Jet says, looked up in the, we talking about comics sold, what was good, what's not. Average is anywhere above 50K. 100K or above is beyond expectations. And then Sal Powell says 25,000 in sales is to keep it from being canceled, and up to 100,000 is for a big time comic book. So the fact that Batman, the absolute Batman, did 400,000, that's awesome, dude.
Right.
NSG Stuntman says, I was just telling my friend about Batman being a Christmas movie. Dude, he gets it. Shipped Wreck says, talking about Dwayne Johnson, is a horrible person. Please stop supporting. You know him personally? Like, what did he do to you? I don't know. People get funny about celebrities. Like, I've heard so many stories of, like, you know, I was working on Derek Jeter's house, and we weren't allowed to make eye contact with him. And he did, like, dude, first of all, they're not your friends. Like, they're regular people, too.
Right.
Just because they're a celebrity doesn't mean, like, they have to be at your beck and call and come greet you and hang out. Like, they got shit to do, bro. Right. So I don't know what Dwayne did to Shipwreck here. Mr. Fizz12 says, comparing X-Men to Matrix because they had black suits is just stop. Terrible takes all around. Okay, it's not a take. This is why they made, like, the studio said this. We made X-Men costumes black because the Matrix was successful. It didn't make that up, Mr. Fizz. Dan the Man, making Scarlet Witch a baddie was, as she was becoming a fan favorite, was a stupid idea. They should have stuck with the nightmare idea that was floating around. I disagree. I think that, and this is my my pro wrestling background, Adrian. One of the best times to turn a good guy bad, so in pro wrestling, it's babyface is a good guy, heel's the bad guy, is when they're at the peak. Because nobody's expecting it. When it's like, it happens all the time. You got tag team partners, dude. They're killing it. They're best friends. Oh, my God, everything's fucking great. And then one day, one of them turns around, the other guy gets whacked with a chair, it's over. Nobody expected it. So I disagree. I think that was a great time. And I don't think that she was becoming a fan favorite, like, hero. Like, she went through some trauma and shit. It made sense. Did her change to villain, did that make sense to you? Or is it?
Oh, absolutely. She had an experience.
Yep.
You know, loss of her husband, went through all that stuff. I mean, it's one thing to come home and then the cops show up and say, hey, you know, you lost your significant other one.
Right.
You know? It's another one to go in your backyard and seeing a lion mauling and literally eating your child or something. Right. Right.
Yep.
So she kind of had that backyard experience where Thanos came up and plucked the thing out of Vision. Matter of fact, she killed him first.
Right.
He reversed time to unkill him, and then he killed him. So that's pretty traumatic.
Oh, yeah.
That put her into that state where she actually created this other this town.
And she even said that I killed my husband for nothing.
Right. And then she created to kind of like help her with her grief. She created these kids, right? And then all of this stuff starts getting taken away. Right. So, yeah, she went through some stuff. So at that point, she's acting like a mother protecting her children. And I think that any mother would do, I mean, I can't say any mother would do what she did, but with those powers, you would do anything within your capability. She obviously has a lot of capability. Right. You would do anything within your capabilities to protect your children.
Absolutely.
So I wouldn't even call her a bad person.
No. Sorry, Dan the Man. All right. Wrap this up with a couple more. Spotify, we got some comments on there. Nate says, y'all make me want to pay for Max again with the Penguin hype. You should, dude. It's like $10. It's worth the $10, I promise you. But get it for a month, binge watch it, and cancel it if you want. Exactly. But you definitely need to do that. Eminem Munston says, look like we're getting Hush Part 2 next year. We talked about this briefly. This is one of my favorite Batman comics. Same. You guys should review Crisis on Infinite Earths 3-parter on Max. Love you guys. We love you too, Eminem. I've not seen, you've seen the Crisis.
I've seen it.
You seen all three?
Yep.
I'll watch them and we can talk about them. I know you said one of them was good, the other one wasn't.
Yeah.
How was the third one?
It made sense.
Okay, better than the second. I think you weren't big on the second one.
No, it was drawn out.
Okay. Last comment, Sensei313 says Punisher was better than Daredevil. And I left that for you because I've not seen the Punisher show yet. Do you feel that it was better than Daredevil show?
I won't say it's better. It's definitely, I think what a lot of people see, because I think the Punisher came out before Daredevil. It was gritty. It was in your face. There was a lot of violence. It's like one of those shows that set the stage for other shows. And then Daredevil came along.
No, Daredevil was first.
What was it?
Yeah, because Punisher came in the second season of Daredevil. Then they did the spinoff.
I think so. Americans like violence pretty much. So when the Punisher comes out, I mean, it's a violent show.
Yeah, it was more
that's his whole deal. That's like, he's not a mutant, but that's like his thing.
Right.
And he loves it, and he's very good at it.
Yeah.
And I think people see that, and they're not separating that from the Daredevil, which the Daredevil is not.
Got it. But in your opinion, would you say Daredevil was a better show?
I would say yes, in that it has greater range.
Okay, that makes sense. Well, that is We Respond. Now I'm gonna pass the torch to to you, Adrian. Hidden gem. Dude, you got some notes today, dude.
Yeah, I got some notes.
All right.
But it's going to be a quick one, though.
What do we got going on?
So we're coming into this Fantastic Four thing. And a lot of characters that I'm aware of, that I was reading when I was, first getting into comics, comes from these groups, right? So you have the X-Men, then you got the Hellfire Club, you got the Alpha Flight, you got the Avengers, you got these other groups, you got the Fantastic Four, you got the not the Phantom Zone, that's Superman, the Negative Zone, and all this other kind of stuff. So this is one of these characters, since we're talking about the Fantastic Four, this is one of those characters that is a child, let's say, of the Fantastic Four.
Okay.
And it's Blastar, Blastaar. Never heard of him?
No.
Cool. So Blastar was actually born in the Negative Zone. Now, the Negative Zone, remember the negative. So when Franklin was still inside of suit, well, I won't say that because he actually, in the future, ages himself, comes back and rapes. Anyway, before Franklin was born, right, his powers were so great that Reed and Ben had to go to the Negative Zone because they identified something in there that could help siphon the psychic energy from Franklin while he's still inside of his mother, right? So that he doesn't kill her.
Yeah.
And that was the Cosmo Rod. So they brought that back to siphon off the energy. So that's the reference to that. Yeah. Right? The negative. So Blastar was actually born in the Negative Zone. He was a tyrannical ruler. Of course, he's like Gladiator, right? So the Gladiator, they had to go through these, like, the rite of passage. And at the end, the one who actually killed this group of people, they're like a governing body, they would become the Gladiator, and they would be bestowed with all this power. Well, he didn't go through that rite of passage. He was just better, stronger, faster than everybody else around him. So he was like this gifted athlete amongst everybody else. So he grew up and he ruled this planet that they were on, but everybody, they got tired of that, and they usurped him and kind of kicked him out. So he was this power-hungry person, born in the Negative Zone, and he was doing everything, death and destruction. So in comes so they imprisoned him, right? Mm-hmm. But then Reed Richards, dicking around the way he does across everything else, comes in close proximity. He actually so what happened was the Sandman on the other side, the Sandman attacked the Fantastic Four. And he released some kind of poisonous gas inside of the Baxter building. Okay. In order to get that gas out, he opened a doorway to the Negative Zone, which allowed Blastar to come across. In that process, Reed got sucked into the Negative Zone, and then later he was pulled out by Triton from the royal family on the moon with Black Bolt and Medusa, that family. Mm-hmm. So So Triton pulls him out. They fight. Eventually, he gets pushed back in. So there's a lot of his back and forth. But every time he comes out, he interacts with a different team. Yeah. So this time he comes out. So Jean Grey, right? She's messing around with, what was it? She attempted to use a device left behind what they considered the late Professor X that convert thoughts into radio waves. Well, despite being told by Cyclops and Beast, hey, chick, don't be fucking around with this, she does it anyway, opens a portal, Blastar comes through, he attacks, there's all this commotion. So he's had a lot of run-ins with different groups, X-Men, the Avengers, Fantastic Four, this and that. So he goes back and forth between the Negative Zone and this, but everywhere he goes, he's trying to take over stuff, right? Got it. He's had interactions with the Eternals, Annihilus, the New Gods, which is where what's the equivalent of Thanos on the DC? Darkseid. Darkseid has run in. So he's been like all over the place, right? Guardians of the Galaxy. He's dealt with them. So this guy is just, wherever he goes, he looks for places to conquer, but he always gets defeated. See, the Shire. Yeah. The Shire is Princess Lilandra.
Yeah, Professor X's boo.
Yep. So that kind of stuff. Let me see. Ultimately, he gets kicked back in, and he kind of goes away. But he looked like a, how do I describe him? Big guy.
It's like a grizzly.
Yeah, like a grizzly,
like
grizzly.
A Wendigo almost.
Yeah,
like Wendigo or some shit.
So pretty impressive guy to look at.
And what is he shooting at? I see a picture of him shooting some shit out of his hands.
Right. So his power sets, strength, super strength, 50 tons. Everybody can lift. Oh my God, everybody can lift.
Super strength.
So, super speed, stamina. It's funny though, because when you read these stats, it's kind of like a misnomer. So he can lift all his weight, but he has the durability. He has the speed and stamina of an Olympic level athlete, right? Okay. However, he has greater durability. He can, repel bullets, minus 455 degree Fahrenheit heat, things like that. But he uses, the reason they call him Blastar is because he can blast this energy out of his hands. Okay. Not only to basically disrupt the atoms of whatever it hits, but he can also use it to propel him through the air. Yeah. Right. And he can basically fly at like 25,000 miles an hour. Now, so this is where the math doesn't work, right? Damn. So yeah, he can withstand a 30 caliber bullet, but what kind of force do you need to be able to withstand to fly at 25,000 miles an hour? I'm assuming a lot, right? And then they say, well, yeah, he can withstand 455 degrees Fahrenheit, but we all know a lot of we can't get to like Mach 10 because the temperature of, which is what, 10,000 miles an hour? Yeah, something like that. We can't get to that because the metal is over 2,000-3,000 degrees or something. So the math doesn't quite add up. But the point of it is that he's a tyrant. He's very strong willed, and he has the power to at least take over a planet. So he's considered a Category 1 criminal by the. He's a universal threat. He's considered a universal threat by the Nova Corps. Nova, we did a hidden gem on them. Yep. And the Nova Corps, for those that don't know, they're like the Green Lantern Corps. They're basically galactic police, right? And that's in the negative world, the negative zone. If he was in the positive world or the positive zone, he would be considered a Category 1 criminal.
Damn.
So he's a formidable guy. Again, he's one of these. He's probably like a Rhino. You would consider, he's like, okay, he's there, but he's really nobody, but he can do some damage if he shows up. But again, because we're in the season of Fantastic Four, I'm trying to bring all these characters that I was exposed to when I was a kid reading about comics that they just don't show them anymore for whatever reason. So that's it. Blastar.
Nice, dude. I never even heard of Blastar. I see the picture and it does look a little familiar, but never even heard of him. I like the Fantastic Four season. The Negative Zone, so Mr. Negative, I'm familiar with from actually the Spider-Man game. Martin Lee was a really cool character. That's something I hope we see on screen at some point, the Negative Zone.
Yeah.
That's some cool shit. I mean, Spider-Verse is right up that alley. Tie that into there. All right, well, that is Hidden Gem. We're moving on. We're going to wrap up with some agree to disagree. There was a question last week about 5 least favorite comic characters. Did you have this?
Yes.
All right. You go through I struggle with this, dude. I'm like, I don't even know. So we're gonna let you answer this one this week.
Right.
What do you got?
All right. So my number one least favorite comic book character, right?
Yep.
Now I'm going everywhere, all over the place. The one at the top is that the Doctor in Penguin.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, I like that. I like that.
So that guy is just useless, and his voice,
Theos, I forget the fucking name. Yeah.
And the way he twists his face to talk to make a point, it's just like, dude, you shouldn't even be in the show to begin with.
Right.
And I'm not talking about the actor. I'm talking about the character.
The character. Yep.
All right. So he's number one, and then everybody else is, to me, they're just like a number 2.
Okay.
So Rhino, useless.
Damn.
Scarecrow, don't like him.
Okay.
Is it Scarecrow or no, I got them both. Scarecrow and the Riddler.
Damn.
Neither one of them.
Okay.
If you got the Joker, you kind of really, I guess you got to have a basic bank robber, in all of the stuff, all of this. You can't have the Joker all the time, right? So you got to have these 3rd, 4th, 5th tier kind of guys. And back over to Marvel, Doc Ock.
Damn.
Another just useless.
Yeah.
But then I made the list, but then you brought up the Mole Man.
Oh, you're gonna add
So
him.
I'm not gonna add him, but I'm just, you know what? I haven't seen him since way back when. He's supposed to be coming out in the Fantastic Four. If he is what I think he is in this movie, he will be on my list.
Got it. This one's probably gonna surprise you. I'm not a huge fan of Ra's al Ghul. I'm not. Like I like his impact to like Batman's story, but as a character, I'm not a fan of his character.
He's a basic thug.
Yeah.
He has his contribution is he is the father of the girl that made Damon.
Right. I like her, Talia.
Talia is bad.
Yeah. Yep.
Outside of that,
nah.
He's not one of my least favorites, but he's like a piece of furniture. He's just something that you avoid, so that you won't trip over him as you're walking through a room, kind of a deal.
I'm gonna agree on Dr. Julian Rush is his name.
Okay.
By the way, he's atrocious. This one is, and this may be not fair, but we play by our own rules here. Brie Larson's Captain Marvel. Her portrayal of that character is maybe not like that character.
No. We're talking about the character, not the actor of the character.
Damn.
Because if that was the case, you could throw Sam Jackson in there on a couple of characters,
shit.
right?
True. Okay. Toad. I don't like Toad. He's a waste of fucking everybody's time.
Got you.
Toad. God, who else? Dude, Scarecrow in the comics, I'm not a huge fan of. He's annoying at times. He's another one. Reverse Flash. It's just like, come on, there's too much. Like, stop. So those are mine, dude. And this is, there's so many. I didn't do a deep dive to try to find. These are just ones that come to me off the top of my head. I'm sure there's probably some others that I dislike. Like, dude, I almost put Professor Xavier on there because he pisses me off sometimes, dude. He's annoying as shit.
Yeah.
But we'll leave Chuck off, So
the traditional Aquaman.
Oh,
with the feet.
Yeah, you love little feet, dude.
I can't do that,
Look at the feet. Well, there you have it. We are going to wrap up with some agree to. You get 2 agree to disagrees today.
Hey.
Dude, we got to start charging admission.
That's it.
Shit. But we're going to wrap up. I got 6 this week. And there is a little Batman Returns crossover here. So, spoiler. This is where I rapid fire these 6 opinions at you, and you're going to let me know if you agree or disagree. If you're watching the show early, you know exactly what the fuck happens because we already did it then. This ain't deja vu. This is a new one. It's different. All right. You ready?
Let's do it.
All right. Let's go. Number 1. Batman Returns is better than Iron Man 3.
Disagree.
Pattinson is a better Bruce Wayne and Batman than Michael Keaton.
Agree.
More studios should release clips like Sony did with Kraven the Hunter.
Agree.
And if you don't know what we're talking about, they released the first 8 minutes of the movie, and it was phenomenal. It's time to release the Fantastic Four First Steps trailer.
Absolutely.
Like, y'all have it. It's not like you're James Gunn and you're talking about it. You fucking have it. You showed it to a Comic-Con like months ago. Release the shit, Kevin.
There you go.
This is when I asked you earlier, and I paused you. Spider-Man Far From Home was better than Iron Man 2.
Agree.
Okay, look at that. Kraven the Hunter should join the MCU.
Definitely.
And that's it. That is our agree to disagree. So there you have it, guys. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for checking us out. Subscribe if you haven't already. Dude, if you're from Scotland, let us know. If you're trying to find someone from Scotland,
actually, if you're anywhere, let us know.
Actually, if you're from anywhere that's not like Connecticut, let us know. You know, but I mean, I'm not like, it's cool to find out where everybody is at. Right. We appreciate all the people that chimed in, all the usuals. You know, we had Broman Williams, we had A. Josh Strickland, we had John Von Bond, we had we still Sons of Sekhmet, we still have not heard from God Mode, dude. It's been weeks.
Oh, wow.
God Mode, where the fuck are you? I don't know. Maybe send it to search party.
You sure it's been weeks? I'm thinking longer than that.
I actually know you're right. It's been, God, we're just sitting here like, anytime, any minute he's going to show up. But we appreciate y'all checking us out, tuning in. Adrian, thanks for coming out.
Absolutely, man.
Tis the season, dude. The holiday season. So what we got next week? We're doing Court of Owls. We're going to switch. We're going to take a break from the holiday movies. We're getting some Court of Owls, which I think you're going to enjoy. I know you saw the artwork. You haven't read any of it yet?
No.
Okay. I think you'll enjoy it. We had some of our fam, as they say. We come up with more names, though. We're going to have a big vote on this. But we have some people that actually bought their copy. They're going to read it and get ready for the review. So next week we're discussing that. But we appreciate y'all checking us out. You know where to find us every week right here on YouTube, Spotify. We're going to get on Apple Podcasts soon. I've just been lazy, honestly. So at some point, But thanks, Adrian.
Too busy whipping these interns into shape.
For real. Dude, like they're sleeping. They're literally asleep right now. I really hope they're recording. You're like, holy shit. I don't know where you found these guys.
We'll see.
God. Anyways, thanks for coming out, Adrian. Guys, we'll see you next week.
All right. Peace.